It's Orioles baseball on Masson on a gorgeous night downtown. The Orioles getting set to welcome in the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. It's the opening game of this three-game series. And hi, everyone. I'm Jim Hunter, and thanks for joining us tonight. And for Jeremy Guthrie, it will be an emotional start as he goes to the mound against the Blue Jays, because tonight it's the first start since learning of the passing last Wednesday night of Mike Flanagan. And after consultation with many of Mike Flanagan's friends, and in particular with Mike's family, his decision has been made, and he will wear number 46 for the remainder of the year, honoring Mike each and every time he takes the mound. Now, as far as the remainder of the year for Jeremy Guthrie, he's looking to finish strong, because if you look back over his Oriole career, the one thing that has eluded Jeremy Guthrie is the big breakout season with wins and losses. He did have a winning year as a rookie in 2007, but since then, he has had 4 consecutive losing seasons. He does give the Orioles consistent innings, but he has not been able to have that breakout year, even though you see his ERA against the AL East this year very credible at 3.38. And Jim Palmer, I know there are a lot of things out of the control of a starting pitcher, one-loss-wise, but one thing Jeremy's looked to do is finish strong and go out on a good note.
Yeah, I really think, a very positive attitude, and of course Mike Flanagan would be the first guy to tell him, hey, you go out and try to control the things you can control. Jeremy does so many things well. Again, we have to understand that since he's been here, Orioles haven't had a winning record. 44 and 64, 4.20 ERAs. A lot of teams would love that. And again, the Orioles don't play well against the American League East. Neither does Jeremy. 2-7 lifetime, but with a very low ERA against the teams that he's going to play again tonight. So I think he's prepared to pitch. He's 6-16. He's pitched much better than that. And again, trading deadline coming up as far as moving rosters. People are looking at him because he came off a splendid game against the Twins.
And we have an intriguing pitching matchup tonight, because you have Jeremy Guthrie, the Oriole, against the Maryland native, Brett Cecil.
Well, 15 games last year. And when I talked to John Farrell, their skipper, he said we had to send him out. Lost a lot of arm strength. He went from about 92 to about 84 in spring training. But he's back. You can see the 6 straight quality starts. He hasn't won on the road. He's 0-2 in his last road starts. But again, a left-hander, he'll have a lot of fans coming to see him. And again, the Orioles don't fare that well against left-handers. So we have a very good pitching matchup here tonight.
So tonight it's the Orioles and the Blue Jays, the opening game of the 3-day series, on an absolutely perfect night for baseball at Camden Yards. Orioles Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout days. Beautiful view of downtown on this gorgeous Tuesday night. Orioles welcoming in the Blue Jays for the first of three, and tonight's game time temperature brought to you by Train. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a Train. 78 degrees, just a slight breeze, and look at that beautifully low humidity at 37%. So the Orioles getting set to take on the Blue Jays. Southwest Airlines starting lineups for Toronto, coming in at 67 and 67. YUNEL, ESCOBAR, Eric Thames, and Jose Bautista with Adam Lind in that cleanup spot. EDWIN ENCARNACION will bat fifth. He's had a good year head-to-head against the Orioles. The newest Blue Jay, Kelly Johnson at second, then Brett LAWRIE at third. JP Arancibia will catch, and Mike McCoy, one-time Oriole minor leaguer in center field, will bat ninth.
Take a look at our AFCIA scouting report. Jeremy Guthrie proud to wear Mike Flanagan's number. Mike was the general manager when they drafted him on waivers from Cleveland. No justice, great lifetime numbers as far as pitching, but the record not good. 2-7, a low ERA, a little over 3.62 runs a game. And then small ball, keep it in the yard if you can, because they hit home runs. He's thrown 22. He controls the running game, does so many things well. The Orioles just don't score a lot of runs for him. And again, your AFCIA scouting report brought to you by AFCIA. Visit AFCIA.org, the Association for IT Pros.
So Guthrie looking for his seventh win, and he's coming off one of his best starts of the year last Wednesday in Minnesota.
Certainly is. And again, you know, they struggling offensively, big ballpark, so a lot of pluses there. But end of the day, you still have to get him out. He was able to do that. Only, what, a couple of back-to-back doubles. And that was the only run he gave up against him.
YUNEL ESCOBAR leads off, and he takes outside 1-0. ESCOBAR, the Toronto shortstop, 28 years old, out of Cuba. And now in his fifth season, of course, started with the Atlanta Braves and then traded over to the Jays. And for him, had to be a very strange trade, as he was traded over the All-Star break. So the first half ended, and he was a Atlanta Brave, and then he got traded, and when the second half resumed, this was last year, he then was a Blue Jay.
Yeah, Don Wakamatsu taking over for John Farrow, who has walking pneumonia. John, of course, the pitching coach for years, a player development guy out of Cleveland, then with the Red Sox. So Don, who managed Seattle, good friends of Buck Showalter. So
Buck tried to get him here.
Yeah.
1-1 the count on YUNEL ESCOBAR. Has got a two-game hitting streak going, and a bouncer right back to Guthrie, who fields his position well, and the toss to first, one away.
Take a look at the Nissan defense for the Orioles. REIMOLD, Jones, MARKAKIS, pretty standard outfield lately for the Orioles. Andino, Hardy, Ryan Adams up for the big leagues now, what, about a week ago. And then Mark Reynolds, who's played superbly over at first base. Matt Wieters back behind the plate. And again, Nissan's bottom line sales event, tremendous selection, great offers, bottom line savings. Choose Nissan.com or your local Nissan dealership. Jim, you knew that.
Because I listened to you.
You've heard me. Jim.
It's Eric Thames. Jim, you will do this.
No. A lot of breaking balls to Eric Thames, and you know, again, he's a good fastball hitter, good young hitter. And again, let's see if he can hit the breaking ball.
Fastball inside, and 2-1 the count.
Yeah, we saw such big strike zones. It was a pitcher's delight, even though the Yankees were in town. They lead the American League in runs scored, second in on-base percentage, first in home runs.
High fly ball left center field, has some carry. REIMOLD is back on it. And
Whoa.
Just in front of the wall, he made the catch. Wow, did that ball carry?
Well,
REIMOLD looked like he took it back.
Well, he did, because again, he just kept going. The ball kept going. Of course, again, you're on the warning track. You kind of have a sense. And right there, that ball might have gotten out of here. So you get an idea. Small ballpark, ball carrying, very crisp here tonight. The humidity after Hurricane. Yeah, one of the fans out of the way.
He looks scared.
Well, they hit one up here. We'll have that look on our face.
I got you covered. I keep telling you. Here's Jose Bautista, takes outside.
Wait a minute. Let me go back. I got to go back. to your biography, your bio, and let's see.
One is down the way. 2-0 the count.
I know it's in here because you showed it to me before the game.
That's because you were teasing me and you thought I was kidding.
Let's see.
Hey, Luke Scott's on the bench. Good to see Luke back with the team. 2-0 the count on Bautista, batting with 2 outs and nobody on. And the slow breaking ball is in there for a strike. And Jose Bautista, in his career against the Orioles, 13 home runs, 37 RBIs. However, in his last 14 games, he has not gone deep. 0 home runs and 6 RBIs. And a high pop-up. Foul. Reynolds coming over, hoping for a play. And it's in the dugout. No play and a foul ball, 2-2.
And he's probably not going to go deep on that pitch either. You really have to try to stay out of the middle of the plate. And if you're going in, just because you go up and in, I mean, he is so quick. The end of 2009, Dwayne Murphy, the hitting instructor, they worked on the high leg kick, trying to get the foot down to be in a hitting position. And it's that timing that he's been able to do. 54 home runs last year. There's Dwayne, outstanding player in his own right.
And a bouncer right to Reynolds. He'll step on the base. And Guthrie, a real good start. Jays go 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom of the first. Here come the O's. No score. Here come the Orioles in the bottom of the first. Southwest Airlines starting lineups for the Birds. Hardy, Markakis, and Jones with Guerrero in the cleanup spot. Wieters will catch, and then Mark Reynolds in the number 6 spot. 4 home runs and 7 RBIs in the 12 games against the Blue Jays on the year. And Dino, Reimold, and Adams for the Orioles.
So take a look at our AFC scouting report. Rebound effect comes home. Again, 0-3, last 5 games, even though he's pitched well. Record maybe not indicative of how well he has. The Birdies, well, we're not talking about golf. We're talking about the Orioles, 3-0, 2.19 ERA, undefeated, and then at home. Grew up in Maryland. And again, even though he's at home, on the road this year, actually at home, and it used to be the Sky Dome, now the Rogers Center, 1-5 on the road. Pretty good, 3-2. ERA comes down to a little over 3 runs a game. A guy that throws around 91, 92 when he's throwing well. Good changeup, and last year won 15 games. A lot of run support, though, close to 6 runs a game.
So does Brett Cecil view this as a home game on the road?
Yeah, kind of.
He's a Terp.
Well, the Orioles hope that.
High pop up right side. Lind and Johnson. Johnson calls, and the second baseman has it for the out. And one away here in the Oriole first.
Let's take a look at the Blue Jay Nissan defense. THAMES, McCoy, Bautista. They got Colby Rasmus. He has the wrist problem, so he's out of center field. LAWRIE, ESCOBAR, Johnson, who came over from the Diamondbacks. Adam Lind, and then J.P. Arancibia, the powerful hitting young catcher.
Nick Markakis bats with 1 out and none on, takes high.
Yeah, one of my scouting reports was going to be nicked, because Nick comes in, 6 for 12 against Brett Cecil? Tells you how he can hit lefties.
And a strike on the corner, 1-1 the count. Best average against active pitchers. How about that? Only Vicente Padilla does he hit at a better clip. Latin, Percy, and Cecil at 500.
That's why Vicente has had neck problems.
Watching those balls off the bat. Cecil, 26 big league wins. He was a first-round pick of the Jays back in 2007. He was a supplemental pick. As Markakis takes high, the Blue Jays had lost relief pitcher Justin Spire. He went to the Angels, and the extra pick that the Jays were awarded, they used on Brett Cecil. He was the 38th overall pick in that draft. And the 3-1 is hit towards third. Wide of the bag is LAWRIE. And he gets it across and 2 down. So the defense had to play perfectly, and Markakis is out on a hard bouncer. So 2 down here in the first, and here comes Adam Jones. 18 of his 22 home runs hit here at Camden Yards. Just amazing consistency here at Oriole Park. And he has hit 4 home runs in the month of August. 22 on the year, 79 RBIs, and he's got 145 hits. He's trying to catch Nick Markakis for the most hits on the team, but still 9 behind Nick. And a foul blew back. And Adam broke his bat, so he's going to have to get another.
And it's not like he can't hit on the road. I mean, close to 294 at home, 288 on the road, but again, the big differential. I mean, he can hit him out of anywhere, but anybody that's watched Oriole baseball, anybody that's actually put on the pitching toe and went out there to pitch here knows that this is a tough place to pitch. Great hitter's park. There are times in the year, maybe early on, when you get a little bit colder weather, the ball doesn't carry. But this year it seems that like it's been jumping most of the year.
Cecil taking his time. Here's the 0-1. It's outside. Cecil made the club out of spring training, but he really struggled early on. He made 4 starts and had an ERA of 6.86 and then sent back to AAA. And Jim, you mentioned the velocity drop for whatever reason. And I guess he got it back because he ended up making 12 starts at AAA and won 8 games.
Yeah, he again, you know, he's not a 95 type of guy, 95 miles per hour, but he had much more velocity. He lost it. There's a changeup, and that's, of course, when you lose your velocity, and then your changeup is not as effective. John Farrell was saying that, you know, he loved the cutter, the cut fastball, so he got a little bit out of his windup, and they had to make a decision, 15 games or not. You're going back to the minors, as Brian Madison's had to do, but he was hurt. You go back and rediscover your windup and your arm strength.
2-2 is ripped towards short. Oh, what a grab by Escobar. And he gets it across to get Jones. So 2 hard hit balls, but nice plays by the Jays. And the Orioles go 3 up, 3 down. No score at Camden Yards. Ease downtown traffic as the Baltimore Grand Prix approaches. The O's encourage fans attending tomorrow or Thursday's games against the Jays to carpool or take public transportation if it's possible. Now, as an added incentive, all fans who present a valid MTA pass at the Oriole Park box office before either game receive $5 off any regularly scheduled price ticket to the game or any remaining home game. Now, for any more details, plus the latest on road closures, visit Orioles.com/Grand Prix. Adam Lind will lead off against Guthrie. And the fastball's low. Encarnacion and Kelly Johnson will follow.
Well, you got 60 home runs in your number 3 and 4 hitter. And Lind against the Orioles, 6 this year. Won a walk-off against Koji.
Foul ball, 1-1 the count.
Those numbers will play, I would say.
6 home runs, 11 RBIs, each against the other. High fly ball right center field. Easy play for Adam Jones off the end of the bat. And Adams got it for the out. One away in the second. Jeremy Guthrie last Wednesday at Minnesota picked up the win, his 6th on the year. He's had a very strange season in his victory breakdown. He won 1 game in April, 1 in May, 1 in June. Then he won 2 in July, and the win at Minnesota last week was his 1st in August. So he's trying to make it back-to-back wins, which, by the way, he has not done once this year. He has not been able to put together back-to-back wins as Showalter watches from the Oriole bench.
Yeah, product of a number of things. Not a lot of run support, sometimes ineffectiveness pitching-wise. He did kind of get backed up. Really didn't go in the DL, but he got backed up because a little bit of a shoulder tightness. Maybe a little bit worse as he described it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have missed some time. And at the end of the day, it just doesn't get a lot of runs. The home run balls hurt him. Great game in Seattle, and to change up to Justin Smoke. 3-run home run with a 2-0 lead. So a lot of close games, but all in all, maybe not pitching as well as last year, but still certainly pitching well, better than a 6-16. And that ball, again, you get an idea of how Toronto, that is 4th in runs and 4th in home runs, they attack the ball. I mean, their intention, if you make a mistake, and we've seen some fly balls, so as the game progresses, as a pitcher, you have to watch that. Maybe the guy didn't get to it this time. Maybe you have to go to a little different area the next time.
Encarnacion looks 2-2, and the breaking ball fooled him, but it stays inside and a full ball count. This is the 3rd start against the Jays this year for Guthrie. And he walked him inside a check swing. They appeal. He did not go, says Chad Fairchild. So there's the first base runner for Toronto. It's a 1-out walk. Guthrie pitched very well in a no decision at Toronto on June the 16th. In fact, there was 5 scoreless innings, but he was forced out of that game after the 5th because of back spasms. And then in his loss on June the 5th, he allowed 6 runs in 5 innings. So completely opposite results over 5 innings in his 2 starts against the Jays.
I think it's safe to say that maybe physically he wasn't as good as he was before. And
Kelly Johnson takes ball 1.
And Kelly Johnson's got some pop. He's a real good fastball hitter. Again, they traded John McDonald, Aaron Hill to the Diamondbacks. We saw Kelly Johnson with Atlanta. I always thought he was a pretty good high ball hitter. You don't see too many lefties like the ball up. Chavez, who just left with the Yankees. Greg Nettles, going way back, a guy that I had trouble with, high ball pitcher. Most of the guys, they kind of want it down knee high, thigh high.
Johnson now in his 6th season at 29 years old. Looks at a 1-1 and swings and fouls it in and out of the glove of leaders 1-2. And he was with the Braves 2005 through 2009, and then was one of those non-tender guys because he got to the point where Atlanta felt, I guess, for his production, he was going to make too much money. And so they let him go, and he went to Arizona. And Arizona has since now traded him to Toronto. That trade was on August 23rd, so he's celebrating 1 week as a Blue Jay. 1-2 the count. Just outside, 2-2.
You can see Jeremy, pretty good ID there tonight, and he's already hit 94, just missed Again, in that Yankees series, some really big strike zones, and the pitchers, in most cases, took advantage of it. Tonight with Paul Schreiber behind the plate, looks like he's going to make you throw it over.
And a foul back. Johnson was a first-round draft pick of Atlanta out of Austin, Texas. Anytime you're a first-round pick, you got to have
some
kind
skills.
of ability.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Encarnacion is at first with one down. Off-speed pitch misses.
Yeah, and I don't like the way. I mean, if you're pitching against a guy like Kelly Johnson, obviously you're not as comfortable with him as you are with Aaron Hill. Even though a couple of years ago Hill hit what, about 36 home runs, because you don't see him as much. But he took that changeup like he was really able to track it.
Encarnacion runs, and the pitch is inside. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks, and 2 on with 1 out. Fans, the Maryland Lottery's double play contestant of the game is Gloria Go of Baltimore. For every double play the Orioles turn during the game, Gloria wins $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery. And now you can enter 2 great scratch-offs for a chance to win. To see how you can turn non-winning double play or Amazing 8's scratch-offs into cash or amazing Orioles prizes, go to mdlottery.com/double play. That's exactly what Guthrie and the Orioles would love to get right here. Double play.
Yeah, a lot of speed, though, from Brett Lawrie. We saw that and power. It just looked like when he made his major league debut right here in Baltimore, what, about 3 weeks ago. Home run left center, home run right center. Hit the breaking ball. Hit the ball to right field like a left-handed pull hitter. I mean, with authority. And it looks like he's got a tiny strike zone. Even there, he took one that was a pitcher's pitch.
Lawrie, a native Canadian. He's out of British Columbia, just 21 years old. Encarnacion at second, Johnson at first with 1 away. And a roller foul, a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, one of those young hitters that looks like he loves the ball out over the plate. And again, kind of stays inside the ball, kind of like a Ryan Adams the Orioles have, probably with a lot more power. But again, the guy that would probably have come up in June, except he had suffered a broken right hand. Glowing numbers at AAA.
Guthrie's ahead 1-2. And he fouls it off. He raced through the minor leagues. He was a first-round pick of Milwaukee in 2008 and was sacrificed, if you will, because the Brewers, thinking they could win this year, were looking for some veteran pitching, so they gave up Lawrie to get Sean Market. And that has worked out well for the Brewers, but better long-term for the Jays. And this ball's hit deep to left field. Back it goes, and it's out of here. On a 1-2 pitch, Brett Lawrie goes deep, and a 3-run shot puts Toronto on the board.
Well, one of the keys to the game is keep it in the ballpark, and right there, it's a curveball. You curveball to a righty. You probably don't locate it as well, and look at this one hang inside middle. And again, we've seen him hit everything, even though he's only been in the big leagues less than a month.
And our Exmo is brought to you by the Volkswagen Going, Going, Gone event. Great deals are here, but not for long. Visit VWDealer.com. So 2 walks and a home run on a 1-2 pitch. And a 3-0 Toronto lead as Aaron Sebia swings through. 23rd home run allowed by Guthrie. One and one on Aaron Sebia, who comes in batting just .218, but he's 5 for his last 16.
And the type of hitter that, yeah, you can strike him out and get him out if you make good pitches. If you don't, he becomes a home run threat. And he's got as many as John Buck, who caught for the Blue Jays last year, had all year long. So a young guy, opportunity to play, taking advantage of it. But definitely a better fastball hitter than breaking ball.
Lawrie with his 6th home run. Aaron Sebia takes 3-2, third 3-2 count in this inning. I had to do a double take there because that is in fact Kevin Gregg on the Orioles bench. Guess it's too early for the closer to go to the bullpen. We saw him there with Madison Britton. There's Kevin. Hang out, watch the game from this side, then go to the bullpen.
Well, he is the closer, and certainly hopes he'll get an opportunity. I remember when I first came up, Stu Miller was the Oriole closer. He was saying in the locker room to about the 6th inning.
That one's off the hands, out behind second. And Ryan Adams is there for the out, 2-1.
And then, of course, Stu Miller was a great changeup pitcher, and you always knew he was because he'd have a towel around his neck. He used to jerk his neck and then throw the changeup that got up there about 82 miles per hour, if that. And again, he couldn't do that if his neck hurt. So he'd always have the towel. So you'd always see, and they called him Bullet because it was kind of making fun of his inability to throw hard. But he was a terrific, but had to protect the neck.
Mike McCoy takes ball 1, playing in center field tonight. McCoy in 2008 spent that year with the Orioles. He was at AAA Norfolk. He is the opposite of Brett Lawrie. Lawrie, very few minor league games. McCoy has played 950 minor league games. And breaking ball in there for a strike. But as Jim mentioned, with Colby Rasmus on the disabled list with a jammed right wrist, some at-bats in center field for the Jays. They also have Rajai Davis on the disabled list, so there's another possible center fielder that is unable to play. Guthrie deals the 1-2, and he got it with a fastball by him that ends the inning. But a 3-run home run by Brett Lawrie, mid-second at Camden Yards, 3-0 Jays. Luna double and get your second room of flooring free. Call 877-241-LUNA. Well, the Orioles have doubled in 15 consecutive games coming in tonight, 34 total. The longest double streak this season since they hit in 17th straight, June 10th to the 29th. And for the Orioles, extra base hits this season, 384, 9th in the American League. And there was a strange game last night for the Orioles, not the least of which being they only got 3 base hits, but they did not have a single last night. They had 2 solo home runs and an Adam Jones double.
Yeah, all they need is a single by Adam Jones with Markakis after he walks and steals a base, and they would have tied it up. And that's not easy to do against the back end of the Yankee bullpen.
1-1 on Guerrero, leading off for the Birds, and that one's inside, I guess.
Looks like it's going to be a tiny strike zone, which should aid the hitters tonight.
And there's a base hit for Vladimir Guerrero. Trying to cut it off is McCoy, and he will. So Vladimir is on. And the leadoff single, the Orioles get their first base runner. It comes leading off in the second. Well, head-to-head this year, the Blue Jays again have been getting the better of the Orioles. They've won 8 of the 12. They've out-hit the Orioles. They have outscored the Orioles. They have out-homered the Orioles. And they have out-pitched the Orioles. And that's how you go 8-4. They have also won 23 of the last 30 head-to-head meetings against the Birds.
Well, you can change that just by missing Ricky Romero. So you hope that, because he's just owned the Orioles this year, and you hope that CECIL will not be as good as Romero, and that's probably a pretty good chance of that because Ricky's been splendid. He ended their 3-game losing streak against Tampa Bay with a win last night.
And the Orioles thought they were getting the better part of the Yankees rotation when the Yankees elected to hold back Sabathia for tonight in Boston. And they got Freddie Garcia, and then look what he did.
But again, I think if you're Joe Girardi, you look at the numbers that Garcia had against the Orioles and the available players, and you go, you know what, he's matched up well in the first 2 starts. And again, he did it again last night. So kind of a comfort zone.
Here's the 1-1 to Wieters. High fly ball center field. He got a lot of that one. McCoy goes back, looking up, and that ball is gone. And just like that, the Orioles are back in it. A single and a long ball, and it's a 3-2 game. Number 15 for Matt Wieters.
And that is 4 more than he hit last year. Monster year from this side of the plate. And right here, I told you the ball's flying. Change up in the middle of the plate. What the feet down. Look how long he's in a position to hit that baseball. And then again, tremendous strength from this side of the plate. Just a bomb. McCoy runs out of room. The ball probably going about 425 feet. The reason I say that, I think Eric Davis hit one of the longest ones. It short hopped the wall and was like 445 feet. So there you go. That will invigorate Jeremy Guthrie.
We saw him applauding on the bench and still nobody out. Well, here's Mark Reynolds, who is 4th in the American League in home runs. 27 home runs in August since 2009, most in Major League Baseball. This year he's got 8 home runs. He also has 17 RBIs in the month. And I believe is now settling in as an Oriole. Took him some time maybe to learn the pitchers, learn the league. He's really been impressing at first base.
He's been outstanding. And for Brett CECIL, again, now that was a 16th home run, all against right-handed batters. Ooh. When you hang around in that neighborhood, you're going to give up another one. There you go, right there. That's kind of like that, don't you? Again, you're trying to play with the big boys. Of course, the Yankees, number 1 in home runs and RBIs. Ugla, we saw him when we were down there. And of course, McCann was hurt since then, but again, an awfully the ability again to hit the long ball, something the Orioles had trouble doing last year.
And the Orioles are 5th in the American League in home runs. That was number 156. J.J. Hardy, of course, is already at his career high. He tied that last night. 2-2 on Reynolds. All 3. So CECIL did not enjoy the prosperity. He was given a 3-0 lead. He's given 2 of those 3 back.
Well, we've seen bad pitches usually have a bad result, and that's the case tonight.
And a bouncer to third off the glove of Brett LAWRIE, and Reynolds will reach. He maybe played an in-between hop or tried to, and it skipped off his glove.
Yeah, we saw him again, and he was a better hitter. I mean, he gets to this ball because it's jammed. He just doesn't catch it. I'm not sure it would. It's not an easy play, but again, you can see the crossover step. And again, he just gets there, doesn't quite get it in the glove. And it wasn't a routine play. I suppose they could score that a base hit.
And they have.
And of course, if you're Brett CECIL, you're never going to advertise this, but you would have liked to have him caught that. Make your life a lot easier.
It almost looked like he was thinking of planting the foot to throw it before he caught it.
And I think that also, that ball, when a right-handed hitter hits a ball down the line, it hooks a little bit. He didn't know it wasn't smoked. I mean, again, he got it up on the bat. So it's going away from you.
And Dino takes a changeup low. 2-0 the count on Robert.
Yeah, 325 hitter against left-handers, and he is happy that Freddie Garcia got on the Yankee plane and left town.
He said, boy, did I get pitched to. He threw me so much junk I couldn't hit 85-mile-per-hour fastball. And I said, boy, that's kind of a learning lesson, isn't it? Of course, Ryan Adams will tell you the same thing. And the same with REIMOLD. Freddie Garcia. Robert hits the fastball really well. Just kind of change speeds, change up sliders, curveballs. Right here, JP Arancibia is saying, you know, let's not just let this game get out of control or somebody's going to be warming up in the bullpen.
The education of young pitchers. Cecil 25 years old in his 3rd season. And the education of the young hitters trying to gain consistency. 3-0 pitches, high ball 4, and there's a walk. So all 4 batters have reached this inning. Well, let's get a look at our American League leaders and home runs in the American League coming into play tonight. Yankees, Red Sox, Rangers, then Toronto and the Orioles. So how about that? 4 of the 5 teams in the AL East on the American League leaders in home runs, and all the league leaders brought to you by Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Enjoy VIP seats and MVP eats every game all day through the all-new Skybox Sports Bar, only at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races.
I thought you were talking about the broadcast booth in Minnesota. Catered food every afternoon.
That's nice. Bert Blyleven, Hall of Famer, connections.
Dick Bremer, let's not forget Dick.
That's true. He went out of his way to make sure that they came over by us.
That we got the same food that they were getting.
I know. How about that?
That's what I'm saying. Kind of like going to Chicago and knowing Ed Farmer.
Yes. And with Ed Farmer, you can actually order specifically what you want. That's how big he is there. There's Nolan REIMOLD and a strike. So you always get your favorite, the cheeseburger, when you go to Chicago. Sometimes you'll get the sandwich. Reynolds and Andino, still nobody out in the Orioles' second. Chance for a huge inning. And it's high, 1-1. The pitching coach Bruce Walton came out for a quick chat.
Well, again, Cecil's one of those guys that has to establish. He's a little bit like Brian Mattis because their stuff is maybe the same, except he doesn't have the kind of overhand curveball that Brian has. So he's got to establish down and away. There's Greg and Mattis talking, because then all of a sudden the cut fastball a little bit more effective. But again, that's all you have at 87. You're not going to get people out. Dave Duncan said it best, pitching coach with the Cardinals. He said what makes the cutter as effective as it is that you don't have to throw it for a strike. So if you can't get in a situation where you can throw it off the plate in or out or backdoor it, you're not going to have a lot of success.
Orioles are laying off that changeup that is moving low out of the strike zone. 2-1 on REIMOLD. High fly ball foul. That's going to be back in the crowd.
Yeah, Nolan chased ball 3 or he'd be hitting 3-1. So now all of a sudden you're back into the count. Big difference if you're struggling, and Brett Cecil certainly doing that. Being 2-2 and 3-1, because again, if he threw a changeup 3-1, he has to make it close enough to still be a strike. Now he can throw it out of the zone. And again, how do you want to get him out? You probably want to take a little bit off to Nolan. Good fastball hitter. Now you have an opportunity to do that.
2-2 on REIMOLD. Check swing. Heel the first. He went too far. There's strike 3 and REIMOLD down on strikes.
Well, there's the changeup. And it all has to do with you struggled last night, you struggled the last couple of games, and then you chase a ball out of the zone, you get the pitcher back into the zone, and then he makes a good pitch.
So a big out for Cecil. He's given up 2, but he still has the lead. And here's Ryan Adams. Ryan went 0 for 3 in the game last night, which snapped his 7-game hitting streak. And he was given a steady dose of try to hit this.
Junk. He was junk.
And the changeup misses 1-0.
My address down in Florida is Sanford Avenue. I was thinking of Sanford and the junkyard, because that's what he did. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Freddie Garcia. Great deception, easy windup, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I mean, he was a math instructor, subtracting and adding, a little addition. And the young hitters had trouble with that, as you would expect.
Fouled off the other way. Well, Adams on the year for the Orioles is 6 for 12 against left-handed pitchers. He's batting at .275 overall. Buck Showalter was asked about Adams before the game, if he's impressed with what he's been seeing, and he said, well, sure, we're impressed. We think he's got some talent, but he's got to learn. And last night was a good learning experience for him. One thing about Major League Baseball, it's a copycat league. If somebody shows somebody you can get him out, you're going to see that until you prove that you can hit it. Fly ball, center field. Easy play from McCoy, who can't see it. Here comes THAMES, and the left fielder has it for the out. So in the twilight, Mike McCoy couldn't pick it up, and his left fielder bailed him out and 2 down.
What was that song, Heavenly Twilight? I don't think Mike McCoy thought that. And this is the time of night, not a cloud. Not a cloud in the sky. As Gary Thorne pointed out very correctly, it's getting darker.
It's getting darker early.
And it does that every night.
Yeah. A minute every day.
He may be gone, but
the longest day of the year is the first day of summer, June 21st. And then every day after that, it gets shorter. All the way until December 21st, which is the first day of winter, and that's the shortest day of the year in terms of day. I mean, still 24 hours, just how much of that is day versus night. So the Orioles now need a 2-out base hit to get even. It was first and second, nobody out. Now 2 down, and Hardy takes outside, 2-0.
Yeah, they're trying to do everything they can to stay away from a fastball inside middle of the plate. Dave Robertson, again, having one of the best years as a back end. Bruce Walton looking on, former catcher. He knows he's their pitching coach. But Dave Robertson hadn't given up a home run until he tried to throw a high fastball by Hardy last night. A pretty good pitch. The velocity has come back to something for Brett Cecil.
Well, Cecil's in a tough spot here because even though he got back-to-back outs, Hardy's got a 12-game hitting streak going. So he certainly has been swinging the bat very well. 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 on and 2 out. Swings through it, a vicious cut. Tomahawk cut.
Kind of like Cecil's haircut, wouldn't you say?
You know, I walked through the Blue Jays clubhouse today to look for their lineup to get the extra men in the bullpen. And I didn't realize that was him sitting there because it's a lot different look than what we used to see. It's unique. It's kind of mohawkish.
Well, I thought of Mel Gibson and Braveheart.
2-2 is foul back. Yeah, it's very, very close.
Either that, and then, he's got a beard going when we talk about Brett Cecil. So I'm going, you know what? He's growing that because the barber didn't do exactly what he wanted on his haircut.
So he wants to
make up for it.
Attention elsewhere.
Yes. I'm trying to add some hair. He had a bad hair day.
2-2 is inside, ball 3.
You, of course. You had a very nice haircut today.
So did.
I don't think we didn't notice that.
Well, thank you for noticing.
Obviously, you didn't tell him to cut out all the gray.
I would have still been there. I didn't want to be late for you. It would have been nice to let your work alone. Runners will go. Here's the 3-2, and Hardy goes down on strikes. He chased ball 4. So the Orioles get 2 back. Matt Wieters with his 15th home run on the year will head to the 3rd in a 3-2 game. Orioles baseball on Masson brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. And by Honda. See your Honda dealer and discover the great values now being offered. What a beautiful day it was in Baltimore. Very pleasant. Good day to take the dogs for a walk if you had some time. There's YUNEL ESCOBAR. Lead off in the Toronto third, and he takes a strike. Escobar, a comebacker to Guthrie, his first at-bat leading off the game.
Yeah, he loves the ball out of the plate, and Jeremy was able to get a two-seamer down and in. You can see right there they're trying to go low and away, but again, it's just a slider that misses. Kind of unusual. We did not play Atlanta last year, but when we went to Atlanta this year, they were saying that Escobar just wasn't Bobby Cox's type of player, and of course they traded him last year for Alex Gonzalez.
Over the glove of Guthrie. Adams near the bag, has to hurry. Double pumps, won't get him. So an infield hit near the bag at second. Escobar on leading off in the third. Well, we're talking about consistency with pitchers, and we looked at Guthrie's starts on the year to get Jim Palmer's opinion on this. 26 starts. In 13 of his starts, he has allowed 3 runs or less, and he's 5-5 in those starts. 4 runs or more, 13 starts, 1-10. 6 runs or more in 8 of the starts, so 8 of the 26, he's allowed 6 or more runs. So there's a lot of runs being allowed. Now, we didn't separate the earned versus unearned because if the pitcher's on the mound and he gives up the run, it goes against his ledger. But that shows you that there have been exactly half of his starts where his team has needed to score at least 5 for him to have a chance to win.
Which is what the Red Sox and the Yankees do. I mean, Brett Cecil won 15 games last year. They got him close to 6 runs a game. So, but again, like I said, he probably hasn't pitched as well as he did last year. Hasn't pitched, I mean, poorly. He just hasn't, he's probably taken a step back. But again, a lot of those bad starts were at a period where mentally I think you get beaten up. I don't care how smart you are, how well conditioned, how well you control the running game at the end of the day. And Jeremy does all those things. I think you just try to, it's hard to stay in the moment when your record is 2-9 and you're, as you mentioned, winning 1 game a month, even though you probably pitch better than that. You like to have a laugher every once in a while. In other words, a game you get a big lead early. Doesn't very rarely have those. Another games where they actually pick you up. And again, this is what he does. Escobar doesn't run a whole lot, but again, when you pitched all these innings, 171, now up 173, and this is right here, just a quick move, athletic move, nice tag by Reynolds, snaps it on down there and gets him, but they've only attempted 9 and been successful 3.
One thing the Jays have done this year under John Farrell and with their roster makeover and changeover, they are running more than they have in years. In fact, they have 109 steals as a team. That's the most they've had since 2001.
Yeah, well, they had Raji Davis, who's on the DL now. I mean, he had 34. And then Corey Patterson was on the ball club early on, so a couple of speedster.
2-1 on Eric Thames. Good off-speed pitch.
Yeah, you don't want to be throwing him a fastball and a fastball count. We've already seen him. He hit a routine fly ball to left and almost carried out of here. So again, 2-1, good fastball hitter, and he chases. If he takes it, it's 3-1. Very much what happened with REIMOLD's at bat. The changeup fooled him.
2-2, a slice foul. So Guthrie, the home run, the 3-run shot by Brett LAWRIE. The Orioles do lead the American League in allowing home runs. It's been a problem that has plagued them all year. LAWRIE, the rookie, with number 6. But the 2 walks prior to the home run probably more important. Line drive down the line, foul. As I've heard you say many times, solos don't beat you.
Well, we saw that. Tim McCarver, who I caught for 4 decades, I used to work with him at ABC with Al Michaels doing World Series playoffs. He used to always say, everybody said, well, you can't walk guys, but really what happens after the walks? There was a hanging curveball to LAWRIE, hit a 3-run home run, and that's how the Jays got their runs tonight.
And he got him. Chased it upstairs, so Guthrie gets the strikeout, his second. And one away in the Toronto third inning.
Yeah, he just throws it by him. Again, a young hitter. He chases it. You know, slow, slow, slow. Oh, it's a fastball. Let me swing at it. And he chases out of the zone. Nice pitch by Jeremy.
One thing I will say about Jeremy is Jose Bautista comes up in terms of the consistency of what he brings. If you look at his career numbers versus, look, he's asking.
Well, I was right down the middle.
The umpire, Paul
You
Schreiber.
could not throw that ball any more down the middle of the plate. It was a great slider, and he just wanted to know where it was, which I would think they'd let you know. There's another one.
And it's called a strike.
Pretty almost identical pitches.
But for his career, he's averaged 8.9 hits per game. This year, it's 9.3. So it's pretty
even. Yeah, just a little bit.
Strikeouts 5.5 in his career, 5.3 this year. There's a strike. And walks 2.6 for his career, 2.7 this year. So basically, he's right on what you expect out of him.
But again, timing. What the numbers don't tell you, does the first guy get on? How many doubles you give up versus singles? Do you throw a changeup for a 3-run home run when you pitched away all the time like you did to Smoke up in Seattle? Again, it was a tough ball game, bottom of the 8th inning. He's got a 2-0 lead. They get a base hit, an error, and then he hangs a changeup. If you throw away, and the same thing applies to LAWRIE tonight. You walk 2 guys, but you hang a changeup and he gets a 3-run home run, single to right field for 1. So again, it's not like doing a commercial where you take 2. You can't do it. I mean, you only get to do it once. It's kind of like golf where you hit it 10 feet from the hole. You get 1 chance to make that putt. Pitching's a little different. If your muscle memory's good, you throw a ball off the outside corner. If you miss, you bring it back a little bit. If you miss, you bring it back a little bit. Stay out of the middle of the plate.
2-2 to Bautista's high, ball 3. He ducks out of the way.
Yeah, this ball maybe not as close as he's seen, but again, you know, that's just up. Might have gotten Wilt Chamberlain in the chest. That's how high that was.
Looked like he just lost his balance. 4th 3-2 count of the night for Guthrie. And hit towards right field, a base hit. So that's what a good hitter does. He just goes with it, and he pokes it past Ryan Adams. So 2 on with 1 down. Well, time for our Suzuki Game Flow. Auto's all-wheel drive lineup, Suzuki, the power of engineering. The flow of this game has been about the long ball. Matt Wieters, a 2-run shot to get the Orioles on the board after Brett Lawrie hit a 3-run home run to get the Jays a lead. So a pair of home runs in the 2nd inning, and it's a 3-2 game.
And how about Don Wakamatsu not starting Escobar on the 3-2 pitch? Otherwise, you have 1st and 3rd. Bautista doesn't strike out that many times. That's a big break for here. Double play still in order if you can get the ground ball. Well, yeah, if you can stay out of the 1st and 3rd situations with less than 2 outs, which is the case, it's huge and sometimes forestalling their offense.
And then takes a strike on the corner. Well, on that philosophy of what you attempt to do, you mentioned instead of a base hit to right field, a hanging changeup for 3. There's the 1-1. It's pop foul out of play. That I would think is a mindset philosophy that do you have confidence that you can throw that low and away fastball? That's one thing I've noticed since Tommy Hunter got here. He talks about that all the time. That's what I have to do. That's what I have to command. It's all about the down and away fastball. That's how you win. And I guess it's a philosophy within your own repertoire as he gets an outstanding changeup by Adam Lynn for a strikeout.
Yeah, here's the good curveball. A ball that just darts underneath the bat. And again, it just starts. Looks like it's going to be a strike. And again, you're counted 1 and 2. You don't have to throw it for a strike. And again, perfect execution of your breaking ball. That's a big difference between throwing a breaking ball 1 and 2 where you have to throw it. You can throw it for a ball, or 3 and 2 like the one to LAWRIE, where the count means so much. Hitters that maybe don't have a lot of confidence, they get 1 and 0, 2 and 0, 2 and 1. Those hitters counts, boy, they get a lot smarter.
0-1 on Encarnacion. Breaking ball misses.
A lot of close pitches. And the pitch count indicates that. I think he's up there, what, 67 pitches already.
He averages about 16 per inning. Broken bat fly ball to left. Easy play for REIMOLD. And Guthrie will get out of it. So a couple of hits, but 2 left, mid-third at Oriole Park. It's a 3-2 Blue Jays lead. Official Orioles team store on Utah Street at Camden Yards has been redesigned and restocked with more O's merchandise than ever before. So be sure to stop by for officially licensed team gear, including hats, t-shirts, jerseys, memorabilia, and more. It's open during every O's home game as well as 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on non-game days. Whether it's official on-field apparel or fun retro designs, the Orioles team store is the place for Oriole fans. Might even be able to get a number 22 jersey in there.
I think the only one in existence was coming in the ballpark last night. Yeah, Phil
saw that.
Phil captured it. But it was like really an old one. I think it was like almost had one of the old Pittsburgh where his arm was.
Yeah, needed the orange or black sleeves coming out.
That and a couple of trips to the weight room.
Markakis to center field chasing MCCOY. He's got to play. And puts it away for the out. 1 down in the 3rd inning. So the Orioles down by a run, battling Brett CECIL.
Well, again, we keep talking about home plate and the strike zone being a little bit small, so that's the way it's going to be. And every umpire, no reflection against Paul Schreiber, it's his strike zone. He's maybe a little bit more helpful for the hitters because they know you're not getting pitches like we saw in the previous 4 or 5 games where they're off the plate. So as a pitcher, you have to understand that. I mean, here you are in the bottom of the 3rd. The ball off the plate's not going to be called, so you got to be a little more aggressive with your stuff.
Adam Jones shows bunt. It got LAWRIE's attention momentarily. He's still not convinced, so he moves back at 3rd. Adam grounded out his first at bat. And a comebacker. That ball sailed outside. He tried to pull it and right back to the mound. 2 quick outs in the 3rd inning. Today's Baltimore Grand Prix Masson 3-day pass winner is Darren Alexander of Glen Burnie. Darren wins 4 3-day passes to the Baltimore Grand Prix, the streets of Baltimore, at 180 miles per hour. The Baltimore Grand Prix is set coming up this weekend, September 2nd through the 4th.
Did you get all the driving instructions?
I did.
Yeah. Where's Art Fern? Johnny Carson, you know? Art Fern, I mean, and what was the tea time?
The fork in the road.
Yeah. Oh, Art Fern, yes. Daylight Street. Oh, it's closed between Lombard and Pratt. I don't even, I've been living here 40 years. I don't even know where these streets are. You will, yeah, right.
Well, that's convenient. Then you don't have to worry about driving on it.
And Don tells us, yes, the Slauson cutout. Yeah, I mean, don't even know where these streets are. You'll find them.
Bouncing to 3rd. LAWRIE was deep and gets it across to get GUERRERO. So CECIL has a very quick 3 up, 3 down inning. We'll head to the fourth at Camden Yards. It's a one-run game. Big debut with the Tigers, 1998. The Florida Marlins suffered their 89th loss of the season, the most ever for a defending World Series champion. And then in 2006, Curt Schilling, then of the Red Sox, became the 14th pitcher with 3,000 career strikeouts. This date in baseball history brought to you by Verizon Fios. Switch to Fios, a network ahead. To learn more, visit verizon.com/getfios.
And it's also the day that Casey Stengel retired, 1965. The great Casey Stengel.
First ball swinging is Kelly Johnson, center field. Adam Jones moves back on it. And on one pitch, one down, and Guthrie says, "Thank you very much, Mr. Johnson."
Yep. We like him. Now 69 pitches. Yeah, you got to figure out a way, and Jeremy's pretty good at this. I'm going to hang around to at least the 7th inning. Pitch through the 7th inning. That gives me, another 4 innings for me to get them out, make my pitches. Certainly capable of doing that, and then give my hitters an opportunity to score me some runs. Get back-to-back wins. And as you mentioned, hasn't done it all year.
He hasn't done it since last year when he put together a 3-game winning streak. His last start of August and his first 2 of September last season.
I know this sounds like because I'm lucky enough to get in the Hall of Fame. Is Casey Stengel in the Hall of Fame? I don't know if he isn't. I would think so. All those. Didn't he win 5 straight World Championships?
Yeah, he's in as a manager.
Yeah, I know he did play.
Oh, yeah, he was a very good player. Fast back in the day.
One of the great double talkers. He became, really. He could. That's what he. That and platooning.
And there's a hit batsman as that one rode in on Brent Lawrie. So he'll head down to first base with 1 down.
Well, it's a good way to take away the inside pitch if you want to hug the plate, and that's what he does. Some of the great hitters did that. Don Baylor, Frank Robinson. Stand right on top of the plate. And again, if you pitch in, and you're not afraid of getting hurt, and you roll and do it like he did, it helps the on-base percentage. It hurts a little bit.
JP Arancibia is 0 for 1. Go to first. Casey was elected the year after he retired, 1966.
Didn't mess around, did they?
When you go back to the Hall of Fame, do you actually go into the hall where the plaques are?
If I go, yeah, sometimes, yeah. It's not the first thing I do.
But, what is the first thing you do?
Check into my hotel.
When I went up there last October, that was one of the rooms where I spent the most time, because I really enjoyed reading the inscriptions on each of the plaque. I thought it was interesting when I sent you the picture of yours. You wrote back, I have to change my face. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Ted Williams.
It's a bronze you.
I understand that, but Ted Williams didn't like the way he looked, so he had him change it 4 times.
Really?
Yes. But he's Ted Williams.
Look, you're in the ballpark tonight.
Again. Jeez. What's going on here?
I got to get one of those. Runner goes and a foul back. So LAWRIE put in motion. Although the tour of all the memorabilia where you have to put on the gloves, that was pretty special, especially the Hannes Wagner bat.
Down into the treasure trove.
Yep.
The vault.
The Jackie Robinson home uniform. There's the 1-2, line drive to center field. Aaron Sebia gets on. So 2 on after 1 down. Your favorite birds are back, their favorite dogs and cats. It's the 2012 Orioles Pet Calendar presented by Southwest Airlines. Pick up the 15-month calendar. It features your favorite O's like Nick Markakis, Adam Jones, and Matt Wieters, and all the proceeds benefit the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. To get your 2012 Pet Calendar, 888-848-BIRD, or if you prefer, just go online, Orioles.com.
Yeah, I think you're getting a pretty good idea why the Blue Jays are 4th in runs scored and 4th in home runs, because they make you make good pitches. And if you don't, I mean, there are certain guys in the lineup, and again, no disrespect to Mike McCoy, but he's hitting .221 and he's got 1 home run. You put a circle, you better get this guy out. If you don't, it's going to be a long night.
Foul back this way, coming right to us, and just below. Fans, you can get maximum access to exclusive Orioles interviews plus special behind-the-scenes content available only through social media. Be the first to know when you like MASN on Facebook at facebook.com/MASN Orioles. Content you just can't miss. 0-2 on McCoy. And inside.
So you set him up, you got 2 strikes, you ran him off the plate. Doesn't always have to be a slider. Just pinpoint that outside corner. Again, run it off the corner, bring it back. It's not going to be that. They're going in. And again, he just hasn't had great command there. I mean, again, plenty of velocity.
From 0-2 to 2-2. Guthrie has struck out 3. He has walked 2, and both walks scored. Just off the plate. So the 9 batter works it full.
And he must be getting a good read on the slider, because that's about as good a slider as you can throw and not have it be a strike. And yet he just kind of said, I'm not swinging that pitch.
Runners do not go. 3-2. He got it. Got a fastball by him. So Mike McCoy down on strikes. That is number 4 for Jeremy, and 2 away. A big out.
Yeah, it just powers it by him. Again, just didn't react to it. Good fastball up out of the zone, trying to catch up. You can see again bat speed. Not much of it there, at least on that pitch.
And our Jeep Exmo brought to you by the 2011 Jeep Compass. YUNEL ESCOBAR reached on an infield hit his last at bat. Guthrie's had only 1 3-up, 3-down inning, and that was the top of the first. Fouls it away. Jeremy is 44 and 64 in his career. Tonight is his 149th major league start. LAWRIE is the lead runner. Aaron Sebia the trail runner. The fastball just misses.
And when you go back, I mean, John Lackey signed with the Red Sox last year, and a lot of people comparing Jeremy's numbers on a losing team and Lackey's winning numbers on a winning team, the Angels. And they were pretty comparable. Looks like. But again, when you win, just wonder what he would be like if he was actually on a club that did give him a little bit better run support. Because again, not that he has a bad attitude by any means, because he doesn't. It's just, I think it's just easier to go out there and win. I mean, again, sometimes it's not you, it's your team.
Hard smash to short. Hardy plays the in-between hop and guns it to first to get Escobar in the inning in. So 2 left on. Mid-4th at Camden Yards. 3-2. The Jays have the lead. Orioles baseball on Masson, brought to you by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. And by Nissan's Bottom Line Sales Event. Tremendous selections, great offers, bottom line savings. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local dealer. What a night downtown. I hope everybody is getting back to normal following the hurricane.
Yeah, power is restored. Matt Wieters' power is restored. 2-run home run. I'm looking in his bio to see if he has his. He attended Georgia Tech. He doesn't have his grade school like yours. I just don't understand that.
Here's Wieters in his first at bat, his 4th home run in the last 8 games. And he hit it out onto the sod farm. So you're not impressed by that?
Oh yeah, the only thing, you don't have your nursery school in here.
They didn't have nursery school when I was younger. That was, I didn't go.
Oh, okay. Check.
2-1 on Wieters. You know, you went to kindergarten, right? And then you went to grammar school.
You don't have your kindergarten in here either.
That was,
no, so St. Benedict School is.
That's grammar school.
Grammar school. And then, how do we pronounce it? St. John?
St. John Vianney.
Okay, that's where. Then you went to
Brookdale, that's junior college.
And then you went to Seton Hall.
Seton Hall. I have a diploma. I can't read it because it's written in Latin, but I have one. 3-2 on Wieters. And fouled straight down at the plate.
Yeah, that'll keep him alive. So the diploma.
I'd rather have a Hall of World Series ring.
Should have had some more as a youngster.
Cartoon bird hat. Strike 3 called. Got it on the outside corner.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we go back and revisit this, Jim, this is going to be pretty much right down the middle. Watch this. Wow. I just think maybe Matt's saying, you know what, you have the right to do it even when you have 2 strikes. Look for something. Might have been looking soft. So CECIL, again, some big strikeouts. So he got him out of the 2nd inning. A couple in that inning. And then right there, Matt's going, boy, how did I take that pitch? Yeah, easy. Look for something else. That happens.
Reynolds takes that was strikeout number 3 for CECIL. Reynolds reached on an infield hit his first at bat, so he extends his hitting streak to 10 straight. Off-speed pitch, he pops it up. Second baseman Kelly Johnson is calling. The shortstop calls him off, and Escobar has it for the out. 2 down to the Oriole 4th. As a proud partner of the Baltimore Grand Prix, the Orioles, in conjunction with Major League Baseball, have moved the start time for this Thursday's game against the Jays from a night game at 7:05 to an afternoon game at 12:35. Now, all tickets and parking dated September 1st will be honored for the new game at 12:35. Any questions, call the Orioles at 888-848-BIRD.
What was that number? I got to call it.
888-848-BIRD. Guthrie looking on from the Oriole bench. Dino walked his first at bat.
There's a curveball. Doesn't get the call. First one he's thrown all evening. Looks like he's getting back into a little bit better rhythm.
And Dino's trying to snap out of an 0 for 12. And that one rides inside and off the glove of Aaron Sebia. I think Robert has shown everybody that he can play. The question is, as you move forward, does he simply go back to his utility role, but maybe get a few more starts than he did prior to that? And if you do the regulars complain that they're getting too much time off?
Nice take there. I think really what happens, again, obviously we like to think that Brian Roberts at some point is going to be able to come back and resume baseball activities, whether it's this year or not. And proven he could be a great utility guy. But
this draws trouble down the line. Bautista was shallow, and it's back over his head, and it bounces against the wall. And Dino's got a 2-out double. So that's how you snap out of an 0 for 12, Jim. You go with the pitch and hit it with authority.
Well, I think he's done such a better job of that. And again, if you're playing every day, an 0 for 12 doesn't mean a whole lot. Your average obviously goes down. But here, right here, I mean, a good fastball hitter. He goes with it, as you mentioned. Bautista, he can't get there, and he's just going to wait. He knows it's extra base hits. Play in front of you. I think the one thing we've seen from Robert is just gotten better. There may be certain pitchers, if you're Buck Showalter, and Buck will make that decision, he'll be on the bench because it's not a good matchup.
REIMOLD takes low.
With all the technology now, with all the video, and being able to go and say, okay, I want to see all my at-bats against Brett CECIL, against Freddie Garcia, against CC Sabathia, you get a pretty idea, and then to see how he gets right-handers or left-handers out or whatever, a pretty good idea of what his strengths are. And of course, as a manager, then you try to match up your players' strengths, if they're platoon players, with their opposition. And I think Buck, this year, they went in a little direction. When I talk about the Orioles, they went out and got veterans. Derek Lee, they got out Vlad Guerrero. You may see a little different type of player here. Guys that have good on-base percentage, such in the Orioles line. Guys that walk. Guys that have good stats against righties, left-handed hitters against right-handers.
Slow roller towards third. CECIL will have to hurry off balance throw, and he throws it away, and that will allow the Orioles to tie. And Dino comes in. Huge mistake by CECIL with REIMOLD's speed. Very little chance he was going to get him, and by throwing it away, this game is tied.
Well, about as much chance as you see me racing in a Grand Prix of throwing REIMOLD out. Right here, I mean, shouldn't have thrown it. It's a desperation pass. Not like a quarterback is about to get sacked. Horrible play. Unless you're for the Orioles, and then you go, thank you very much. Going to be an infield hit. Would have been first and third. REIMOLD doesn't steal bases. Orioles tied up 3-3.
So it was an infield hit, and REIMOLD's becoming the master of the swinging bunt base hit. No RBI. The run scores on the error. Ryan Adams pulls it down the line. That is a foul ball. Oh, just foul. He crushed it.
He loves it out over the plate, but he's just a really good fastball hitter. And to me, from the guys I've seen over the last 40-some years, it's easier to adjust if you can do this. And again, just a quick bat, maybe gets out a little bit too far, but again, the ability to hit the fastball, and then you just hope as they throw him more breaking balls, he'll make that adjustment. And you want to be short to the ball. And again, that's Terry Crowder used to always talk about that. The king of swing, hitting instructor, great pinch hitter. I see a lot of young. And Jim Presley today said, you know what, they were really long last night. In other words, They didn't identify the pitch. They had trouble. And I think he made a lot of these guys aware that just have to make adjustments. And that's part of coming to the big leagues and getting your experience, getting your bats.
REIMOLD, good speed on it first. He only has one steal on the year. This ball's slicing back foul. That's one thing that CECIL does very well, is hold runners. Only been 2 attempts on him all year.
Yeah, a little slide step, and again, has a pretty decent move. Boy, that's one thing you can do if you're a left-handed pitcher. You're looking at the runner.
The Orioles have only 52 steals on the year. That really is not part of what they are at the moment.
And there's another slide step. Again, slide step is where you just take that front foot, which will be his right, and slide it. You don't pick it up a whole lot. And it allows you to get the ball to the catcher very quickly. And I guess the downside of that is that sometimes you lose a little bit of stuff. And sometimes along with that, you lose command issues.
2-2 on Adams. And a good eye, ball 3. So he laid off the off-speed pitch, and this will give the Orioles a break. REIMOLD on 3-2 will take off.
Well, he gets to run, and we've already seen early in the game when Jeremy Guthrie walked Kelly Johnson. Encarnacion was running, and Matt Wieters came up in front of the umpire, and the ball was very close. But because he was running, and because you have to frame it, they got their second walk.
3-2, a tapper towards the middle. It's going to score it on through for a base hit. And REIMOLD's going to hustle at third. A seeing eye hit. It bounced over the mound. It hit the grass. It bounced past the base and bounced into the outfield. And Ryan Adams, who had his hitting streak snapped last night, starting another one tonight.
Yeah, pretty routine. Again, fastball. He likes to hit it. Hits it back up the middle. Nobody plays there. So Kelly Johnson can't get it, and then REIMOLD with that good speed all the way to third base. You get to have Hardy up with glowing numbers of runners in scoring position coming in, 319.
And he takes high, 1-0.
And you know that after his last at bat, where he chased a couple of times out of the zone, he's going to just think, okay, I'm still looking fastball, and I'll adjust off it, but I'll make him bring it down a little bit.
Hardy trying to extend his hitting streak. He's hitting 12 in a row. High fly ball to left. Eric Thames is there. So Hardy got under it, and Thames has it for the out. Well, REIMOLD put the runner in motion, and it's a tie game. Orioles Baseball on MASN is brought to you by Verizon, America's largest and most reliable wireless network. On a lovely Tuesday night in Baltimore, and a 3-3 game. The run, by the way, is now earned because of the Ryan Adams base hit. The Orioles doesn't really matter to them. They got the game tied. Ryan Adams picked up a hit. Eric Thames is up now. He takes ball 1. Bautista and Adam Lind will follow. Thames 0 for 2. He has flied out and struck out. Right field. MARKAKIS back on it, and it's over his head. Nick's trying to play the carom, gets to it and gets it back in. So a leadoff double. That ball sailed on Nick. He went back as if he thought he had it all the way. So a leadoff double for Eric Thames.
Yeah, just hit too hard. Probably the toughest play. Shouldn't have caught this because he usually catches everything he can. Again, over your head. Didn't get fooled by the swing. He just smoked it. Again, you'd like to think that I think Bautista is going to be trying to hit the ball for right field. I think your number 3 hitter, tied for the league lead in home runs, is going to give himself up.
Bautista singled the right field his last at bat. 1 out of 2.
And they put their shift on, and he just poked the ball in the right. You can kind of see that. I mean, that front side, he gets the the leg up. That's the hitting mechanism. It started the last month of 2009 with Dwayne Murphy. But he's an inside half hitter. Looks like that's where he's looking.
His career comparison, it's pretty incredible. He had a total of 59 home runs through the end of that 2009 season, including that big September that you alluded to. 59. And he's hit 92 the last 2 years. And just an amazing turnaround as he adapted to that style and changed his approach. Popped it up. Wieters and Reynolds. And it's going to be Wieters, and he drops the ball. And Bautista is on.
Yeah, Mark Reynolds was there, but I think he just fouled him off. A 3-1 changeup, hitting count. Great pitch by Guthrie. I mean, the fact he fooled him, it was up. And right here, Mark Reynolds, I mean, it's a tough play because normally when you go the other way, the backspin, it comes back. So you're turned around. Now it's going away from you. And again, we very rarely ever see him muff one. Right there, it would be an E2. So that's only the part of it, though, because now they have runners at first and second.
Adam Lind will look over ball 1.
And again, Paul Schreiber, he's being so consistent behind the plate. You're not getting anything off the plate. It's kind of the way hitters like it. Pitchers don't.
Pop foul. So the Orioles have gone 8 consecutive games without an error. And 76 consecutive innings without an error until that drop pop-up by Wieters. Last error committed was in the 9th inning in the final game in Anaheim. 1-1 is hit towards the hole. There's a base hit. Thames will be held as MARKAKIS gets to it. And Toronto has the bases loaded with nobody out.
Yeah, just a little breaking ball to Lind. And again, he's so strong. A couple of years ago, 36 home runs. And right there, it's in the middle of the plate, so he's able to get to it. Ryan Adams playing him pretty much straight away. And of course, you don't anticipate that Jeremy's going to get a curveball in the middle of the plate, so Lind becomes more of a pull hitter.
So the bases loaded. Thames, Bautista, and Lind third to first. Encarnacion, a comebacker. Guthrie goes to the plate. Wieters back to first. 1-2-3 double play, and a huge turnaround for Guthrie. And the Orioles turn 2. We send our congratulations to Gloria Go of Baltimore. She has won $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery double play contest.
Yep, a great pitch by Jeremy, and then of course once you throw it, you become a defender. And on this team, the best fielding pitcher. So again, he really does pick up Matt Wieters with the error, makes a great pitch. Encarnacion, who's leading the team in doubles, goes after a pitcher's pitch. And boy, you get the double play. Of course, they do still have runners at second and third.
And here's Kelly Johnson, who takes ball 1. Well, the air now getting loose as Jim has been talking about the pitch count mounting. Guthrie's on the verge of 100 pitches here in the 5th inning.
kind of the fact that they can hit, and then his command hasn't been what it usually is.
Center field, chasing Jones, back he goes, and he makes the catch. So Guthrie gets out of the bases loaded, nobody out jam. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th in a 3-3 game. Is Guthrie getting out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam, talking to Buck Showalter as he sits on the bench. And hi, everybody, and welcome back in. Jim Hunter with Jim Palmer, who's having a blast tonight because he's seeing big plays made by Major League players.
It's actually looking at your haircut, but anyway, no. Jeremy makes a great, you know, it's funny, we always talk about picking up your teammates. And we know Wieters hardly ever, because he's one of the better defensive catchers, ever makes a mistake, drops a pop fly, he makes a great pitch. A guy that he walked the time before. So, you know, I told him before the game when I talked about Jerry Guthrie, I said, I want you to be good and lucky. And luck tonight, if he does come out of the game, is the Orioles get some runs here, and maybe he gets that 7th win of the year.
Yeah, Buck Showalter before the game, he was talking about the importance for a starting pitcher after your team scores for you to get that shutdown inning. Now, he loaded the bases with the help of the error, but he still made 2 real good pitches to get out of it.
Right, and you know, his one bad pitch tonight after a couple of walks was a hanging curveball. 3-2. LAWRIE, one of the great young players. I mean, he's hitting over 330 coming in. He now has 3 home runs against the Orioles. He got a good pitch to hit, and there are the 3 runs for the Jays.
So Markakis will lead off as we go to the bottom of the 5th with Adam Jones and Vladimir Guerrero to follow. And Cecil gets one in there. So we'll see if Guthrie does come out for the 6th. We saw Buck Showalter chatting with him on the bench.
Yeah, nobody up in the bullpen, even though I'm sure Willie Air getting loose on a beautiful night wouldn't take him long.
Sharply pulled foul by Markakis.
But we're seeing, I mean, there's a little change up, and again, Cecil, the only mistake other than his throw that he should have never, just should have put it in his pocket, is a high fastball out over the plate to Matt Wieters. So both of the pitchers, just one pitch tonight, really made a big difference. But again, if you're Jeremy Guthrie and you need some run support, they don't get him a whole lot. About 3.7 runs a game. This is the time where maybe you'll just get 1 or 2 runs.
Markakis fights it off to stay alive.
I used to say, is it better to be good or is it better to be lucky? I think it's better to be both. You want to be good.
And in order to be lucky, I think you have to be good, because you have to be able to compete initially.
Yeah, well, good point.
2-2, slicing foul down the line. Thames is over, hoping for a play, reaches up, and he made the catch just before it went into the stands. So Markakis is retired and 1 away. Eric Thames went a long way, and he stayed with it.
Well, yes, he does. And, you know, get over there quickly. Nice body control. Watch him just kind of little choppy steps right there. Not knowing where the wall is. Braces it with the right arm. So there's no collision. Brett Cecil will thank him for that.
And 1 down in the Oriole 5th. Adam Jones now. And he takes ball 1 low. Adam has grounded out to shorten it a comebacker to Cecil, 0 for 2. Here's just 2 for his last 20. There's Luke Scott with Tommy Hunter. Tommy hasn't been exposed to a lot of Luke yet.
Actually, there's Luke. He said another 3 weeks, arm in a sling, rehabbing it. Very optimistic. I think 6 or 7 anchors to keep that labrum intact. There we go.
And there's a 4-pitch walk and a 1-out base runner. Join the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report at a special time, 5 o'clock to 6:30 on Wednesday with Tom Davis and Dave Johnson, Mel Anton, and Phil Wood. The Mid-Atlantic Sports Report will carry the O's live press conference of first-round draft pick Dylan Bundy. They'll preview Game 2 of this series and take a look at the headlines from Major League Baseball. That's the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report tomorrow at a special time, 5 o'clock on MASN. Here's Vladimir Guerrero. And he takes inside, 5 in a row out of the strike zone. Buck Showalter was kind of kidding before the game because with the injury updates that he gets from Sarasota, the minor league seasons are soon to end, and if a major leaguer needs to play games, there might not be any games for him to play. He said, well, don't forget, we got Dylan Bundy down there. We'll just set up a game with him.
Oh, that'll get you going.
Hey, Chris Davis.
Yeah,
meet the new kid.
Right. Yeah. How did you re-injure your shoulder trying to hit 98? Of course, if you have enough guys then play over them.
Luke, of course,
never play. Well, he won't be able to play because he's going to take him a while. Again, they did put those anchors in just to keep the labrum intact, and he thinks he's going to be as good to go next spring. Well, it's a matter of time to glad he's going to get into one.
Yeah, he is certainly beyond due. He only has 1 home run the entire month of August as Adam Jones takes his lead.
Of course, if Cecil's going to throw it by him, it's not going to be out over the plate. He's already taken the fastball into center field. You can see him just trying to cut it in. And again, 15 games last year. He won 2 in the minor leagues at Las Vegas and then 15 in the big leagues. Got him a lot of runs and pitched well. Lost his arm strength. And John Farrell said he's not going to work up here. But a lot of people thinking maybe just so many cut fastballs, he's lost that little extension. He wouldn't be the first young pitcher to have that happen to him.
Good cut there by Guerrero. Fouls it back on the screen. This is an interesting matchup with Cecil because of how he basically just shuts down the running game. As you were wondering before the game about Adam Jones, when he's going to try to steal a base.
Well, we have 27 games.
27 games without a stolen base.
Well, this is maybe not the right time to go. And right there, there's trying to leave earth and hit a home run. Again, the slide step just, he's so quick to the plate. I mean, Aaron Sebia, he throws all right. Again, this is what we're talking about, and you just see it fouling it off. JT throwing 25% of the runners that have tried to steal out. He's going to come in on his hands again, but he misses.
Well behind Jones, and he gets back in. So Guerrero has worked the count to 3-2, and Adam Jones gets back in time.
Again, watch this. There's your secondary lead as you come off the base, and right there, CB is probably not going to run because, as you mentioned, not too many guys do, but I might have a chance to keep him closer.
Well, will he go here on 3-2?
Yeah, and the key here is to make sure he delivers the ball. Wouldn't be surprised to see Cecil throw over there.
He is running. High fly ball to right. Back goes Bautista. Back off the scoreboard and in play. Bautista couldn't find it initially. Jones will score. Guerrero is thinking 3. Here comes the throw. He is out at third base. But the Orioles get the lead on the double, and RBI by Guerrero.
Yeah, it seemed like a good idea, but you're already in scoring position. And again, it's one of those plays, not first, nobody out, Cardinal rule, nobody out, 2 outs, don't want to get out at third. Right here, short porch and right. Bautista's going to hit one of the numbers and stay up there and then kick over his head. Watch this. Play in front of him. He knows he's going. And here's the throw. And it's a strong enough throw that LAWRIE can get it and then get the diving VLADIMIR GUERRERO, but he does get the RBI.
And our Dodge Ram Exmo brought to you by Ram Trucks, designed, tested, and proven to be the best trucks we've ever built. Ram. So 2 down. And here is Mark Reynolds who takes the ball. So Vladimir gives the Orioles the lead.
And Bautista with 12 assists last year. And back to right field. Right here is still keep adding some runs though. You know that's what you're going to need against the Blue Jays.
You know what made that play is that Bautista just ignored the cutoff man. He threw it all the way to third on the fly for his 11th assist. There's the 1-1 to Wieters. High fly ball to right, slicing away from Bautista. Long run. He gets there and he puts it away for the out. But the Orioles get the lead on a 1-out walk and an RBI double by Guerrero. Through 5, Vladdy and the O's lead at 4-3. Action. It's game 2 of the 3-game series against the Blue Jays. It'll be JoJo Reyes, the former Jay, on the mound for the Birds, and he'll go against Henderson Alvarez. Our coverage on MASN 2 HD begins at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by Verizon Wireless, and then game coverage at 7 o'clock. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN.
Well, there you go. The youngster Henderson Alvarez and then JoJo Reyes trying to maybe get back because he did play for Toronto. Orioles picked him up on waivers, so a chance to show that maybe he made somewhat of a mistake. And then Alvarez, a youngster, I think he's 21 years old, and getting a chance to pitch here in the big leagues.
But LAWRIE takes a strike.
So he came in at 5 for 11 with a home run against Oriole pitching, and again his debut was about 3 weeks ago here at Camden Yards. Today the 3-run home run and then hit by a pitch point.
Guthrie comes out for the 6th. Nobody up behind him. He's now just above 100 pitches. 102.
We saw
Vladimir gives him a lead.
Yeah, Simone with what 114 his last 2 starts. And we saw Burton throwing the most pitches I think he's ever thrown against the Yankees. A little bit longer leash for the starters. Mattis would like to get to the point where he pitches long enough to get to 114 pitches.
Just got a piece. So now it's deep enough in the game. Kevin Gregg's not there. So get ready to go to the bullpen. Yeah, he is. Where's Kevin? LAWRIE down on strikes. Foul tip held by Wieters.
Boy, there's nothing to like trying to get a hot hitter, and then if you do get the 2 strikes, and then boy, look at the ball bottom out. It almost, I mean, that's when Jeremy stays behind his sinker. The bottom dropped out of it. Well, when you do that, what a feel that is. It's just like hitting the perfect golf shot. And then some.
So one down. Here's J.P. Arancibia, the Toronto catcher. Well, with that strikeout on a swinging strike 3, the Jays are now 3 for 11 with 2 walks with 2 strikes. So half of their hits have been 2-strike hits, including the home run, which was on a 1-2 pitch and a couple of singles.
This is when you just, again, not that you're tired because you're so well conditioned, except that you've thrown a lot of pitches. They've seen your stuff, and overthrowing doesn't usually get you a good result. So just back off a little bit, make your pitch, down and away, slider instead. That'll work, I suppose.
Center of the diamond, J.J. Hardy's taking charge. 2 down in the Toronto 6th inning. Tonight's minor league report brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. And how about Xavier Avery at Bowie? A .262 average with 4 home runs, 26 RBIs. He has 35 stolen bases to go with his 30 doubles and an on-base percentage of .325. So Xavier Avery for playoff hopeful Bowie. Having a good year. 2 down. Here's Mike McCoy, the number 9 batter.
Yeah, we had a couple of Frederick players here, as you know. Manny Machado down here, along with his teammate Steve Bumber, the son of Al. Sounds like a bad kind of Al Bunder's son.
That ball's fair, long throw, and scooped by Reynolds on the back end. And Dino bounced it across, and Reynolds did the rest. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Guthrie, and Dino back of the bag, and Reynolds on the other end.
Highlights: early 3-0 lead for the Jays. Matt Wieters, 15th home run, makes it 3-2. And here infield hit by Nolan REIMOLD. And Dino on with a double. Here he comes to tie it up, and then right here, Guthrie, bases loaded. Error by Wieters. 1-2-3, and the Orioles again will take the lead on that as they go into the 6th inning.
And Jeremy Guthrie through 6. And he has a 3-up, 3-down inning after his team got him the lead. Reynolds bounces a foul past Willie Randolph. Reynolds has an infield hit, so he's extended his hitting streak to 10 in a row. Hardy is 0 for 3, trying to extend his to 13 in a row.
Well, Brett Cecil trying to stay out of the Mark Reynolds happy zone, which is somewhere right around thigh high inside middle. There's a good changeup. Boy, that was, I mean, the finish on that changeup, great depth, down and just diving down and away. And again, boy, that's what you look for. Whatever that felt like, you want to be able to repeat it.
Just inside. Well, that's been a ball all night.
Oh, no, Ball's driver's done a great job.
Three and Buck Showalter.
It's just totally different from what we've seen. It's a very small strike zone and very consistent.
The 2-2 to Reynolds. And foul tip held by Aaron Sebia. So Reynolds is down on strikes and one away here in the 6th inning. Time now for our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact, as Reynolds goes down on strikes to begin the 6th inning. Fact number 1, Mark Reynolds 5 home runs against the Yankees in a single season, tied for 3rd most in Orioles history. And now the rest of the story. Ramon Hernandez holds the single season record. He hit 7 home runs against the Yankees in 2006. Dino sharply at the short, backhanded by Escobar, plants the foot and throws, and he got him easily. He could sure play shortstop with 2 men down.
Well, there's just a sense, and you see all the good infielders, they know who's running. You know, Dino has good speed. They know all they have to do is catch it. They know they have a strong arm, and of course, he didn't even let it go. He just got it over there because, again, they have that innate sense of knowing what they're going to do, and all they have to do is beat him by a step or so.
Joel Carreño, right-hander in the bullpen. And REIMOLD, first ball swinging, fouls it off.
Yeah, it's almost like he was looking for that changeup. Pretty good swing.
One thing Buck Showalter made clear today, as he met the media before the game, as he does before and after every game, is minor league hitters, regardless of where they bat in the minor league lineups, are going to learn to bunt. Because a third-place hitter at a minor league team doesn't necessarily mean you're going to hit third in the big leagues, and you might be in a spot in the order where you need to lay down a bunt. And he said, why do you think I haven't asked these guys to do a lot of that this year? It's because they just don't do it. And I did look. The Orioles now have sacrificed the fewest of any team in the American League, including the Red Sox, who are a play for the big inning team. And Buck made a real good point. You have to add that to your game, and you add that to your game by learning at the lower levels. And to their credit today, both REIMOLD and Matt Engel were out with Wayne Kirby and with Bobby Dickerson working on their bunting as Jim Johnson gets loose. 3-1 is in there for a strike, 3-2.
And the other side that he's not going to really mention, but I will, is that you don't do a lot of sacrificing of money, especially sacrifices when you're constantly behind. And that's been a story. The storyline really haven't won it all year long, but it's been there.
REIMOLD breaks his bat, but he gets a base hit. In the left field, playing it back in is THAMES. So REIMOLD has a 2-hit night. And he's on with 2 men down.
So it's not an infield hit. He just hits a little cutter, and he just hits it up on the trademark. I mean, you're going to get a much better idea where did he hit it. Yeah, you can see it almost on the righty. But again, strong enough. The ball was up. And the breaking ball up allows the hitter to, it's already elevated, so it's easier to hit a ball in the air. That time hits it over the third baseman's head.
There's Ryan Adams, who's batting 9th tonight. And looks at a changeup for a strike. Ryan 1 out of 2. And here's a perfect example of what Buck was talking about. Ryan Adams is probably batting 2nd or 3rd, maybe 5th at AAA. Tonight he's batting 9th. He has batted 7th.
Well, weren't we looking in Minnesota? Did he ever have a sacrifice? I think the answer was no. Or maybe 1. But everybody should do it to some degree. I mean, again, all I have to do is point to a guy that got into the Hall of Fame, and that was Robbie Alomar. At home every day, come out and work on it.
Ties him up inside. He did not swing on the appeal. Chad Fairchild saying he checked in time. You know, you could kind of understand the mindset of a minor league player. He needs to hit to get noticed, but when you get to the big leagues, you are expected to be a complete player.
Well, that's
as complete.
That's your coaching. I mean, that's your coaching responsibility too. As you know, there's a good changeup in a fastball count. I mean, all the young guys, and I try to talk to them, and okay, tell me the difference between AAA and the big leagues. And right there is a perfect example. Not only was it a changeup and a fastball count. It was a good changeup. So again, that's what they'll tell you. You know, Matt Angle, when he first came up, 266. You know, bunt a little bit, get on, that average will go up.
That's off the end of the bat. This is going to be a tough play. McCoy coming in. He gets there, and he makes the out. So 2 out, hitting a man left. Well, Jeremy Guthrie's in line for a win. Looks like his night is done. Jim Johnson coming on for the Birds. Run home run with 1 out in the second, did not allow another run, so 3 earned runs on 2 walks, both of which scored on 5 strikeouts and 111 pitches and 1 home run allowed, and he leaves as the pitcher of record on the winning side. And time now for our State Highway Administration call to the bullpen. This call to the bullpen reminds you to be street smart, always use crosswalks when walking, and driving be alert for pedestrians.
Yeah, especially when the Grand Prix is in town, 180 miles per hour. You're probably wise to look both ways. So we talked about Jeremy Guthrie. He was good. Now he's going to be lucky. Jim Johnson comes in, probably the most effective pitcher out of that bullpen against Toronto. 6 hits in 7 innings this year, 1 run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and again, he's on his game than anybody else. Top of the order.
And YUNEL ESCOBAR looks over a strike. Thames and Jose Bautista will follow.
You'd like to see him maybe pitch 2 innings here. Capable of doing it.
Shows bunt, pulls the bat back, a ball and a strike.
And the other thing, and there's a lot of speculation, maybe Jim Johnson will get a start or 2 or 3 as we get into September. The one thing, you don't really see it very often, very athletic. He made a bunt play here a couple of weeks ago, about as good as anybody.
Ground ball gloved by Reynolds down to his knees, but he grabbed it. So wide of the bag, able to get to it for the out.
Yeah, we keep saying how superlative. I mean, that's a double. Again, it's not a bad pitch. Great at bat by ESCOBAR. He's just trying to slice it in play, sinker down and away, hits it sharply. Again, not even playing the line. So again, heads up play. This is a third baseman. That's a reflex play. But again, when you play first, sometimes it's the same position.
Here's Eric Thames. First ball swinging, fly ball to left. Back on it is REIMOLD, reaches up and it's off the wall. It carried over his head. So that is the second ball tonight that Thames has hit that way. The first one REIMOLD caught just before it went out for a home run, and that one gets back for a double.
Well, as we know, the ball is carrying tonight. So when you don't play deep, and then right here, I mean, this is a little unusual. Most outfielders will approach that ball, not backpedaling. They'll go side. And the ball was, it ended up, I guess, slicing back a little bit, so it gets a little bit over his head. But very rarely do you see an outfielder take the last 3 steps or so, I mean, straight back, and it's a lot harder to catch the ball. And then, of course, he might have collided with a wall. And the good thing is that Adam Jones backed him up, or that's a triple.
So the tying run is at second with 1 down for Jose Bautista. First ball swinging, pops it up. MARKAKIS was deep, out is Adams. And Adams stays with it, makes the catch. Nicely done, and 2 down. So Thames has to hold at second base. Well, due to Major League Baseball's national broadcast restrictions, the game coming up Saturday at Tampa, which starts at 6:05, will be joined in progress on MASN 2 HD beginning at 7:06. As the home team, Tampa chooses the game starting time, and the Rays have decided to begin this game on Saturday early. So we encourage all of you to follow the game at MASNsports.com. You'll have the live blogs, and then we'll join you live at 7:06 for the conclusion of the game. We're going to join you a minute early, not a minute late. Or right on time, actually. Adam Lynn swings through it.
You'll be in Tampa Bay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good for you. The Rays playing pretty well. They beat.
You mean you won't be there?
I may be there.
Oh, okay.
The Rays beating the Jays 3 out of 4.
Well, Tampa Bay is still hovering around.
They really are, and don't think the Yankees don't know that. And again, you know, they have a 3-game series. The Yankees, it's now 4-2 up in Boston. Sabathia against Lackey. Another good changeup. And this is something that a lot of people, again, when you bring a power pitcher like Jim Johnson, who could sink it at 93 to 96, 97, a lot of people don't realize he's got a good overhand curveball. But again, you come in where the game's on the line, as it is here, you may not want to use that pitch. But his changeup is pretty devastating. There's another one.
Fouled straight down at the plate.
So he has the repertoire that he didn't have when he came up in 2006 to be a starter. And again, I'd like to see, at least I would, and I'm sure Buck Showalter, I don't know if they'll make that decision, because it's nice to have a guy that can go out there and give you quality innings.
Camp and Carreño are up in the pen for the Jays. And another pop-up. Wieters back of the plate, has a play, and he puts it away. So Jim Johnson gets out of it, and a one-out double, a man left. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight, drink responsibly. Haynes' game flow and the flow of this game has been about big hits, none bigger than Vladimir Guerrero's double that got the go-ahead run in, and the Orioles with the lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th, 4-3. And welcome back to the broadcast booth, Jim Hunter and Jim Palmer. And I hear you talk all the time about how does a pitcher navigate his way through the game, maybe not having his best stuff. Now, Jeremy Guthrie had good stuff. Maybe he didn't have the command, but he did exactly that. He gave his team a chance to win, and he has a team chance to get the W.
Really, I mean, only the curveball that stayed up to Brett LAWRIE, who's leading the world of rookies in just about every category. He's only been up about 3 weeks. So, again, he settled down. He made some great pitches. And, again, in the 5th inning, bases loaded after the drop pop-up, a couple of base hits. And, you know, he gets the double play, able to get the next batter out. And then, again, we talked about being good. He really deserves to win some games because, again, he's pitched better than his record at, 6-16. So, a chance to win, and it's going to be up to the bullpen or the offense to add some runs here.
Yeah, the Wieters home run quickly got the Orioles right back in it because it came in the bottom of the same inning that the Jays got there. But I think it's not to overlook the fact that the Orioles have had the battle back from a 3-0 deficit.
Well, again, if they win tonight, they would have won 7 out of the last 9 games. So, again, you know, you win 6 in a row. you know, the Yankees, you don't lose the series, you split the series. So positive steps lately.
And we go to the bullpen now, and Joel Carreño will come on, the right-hander. And he'll go to work against the top of the lineup for the Orioles. J.J. Hardy sees one sail inside. So Brett Cecil goes 6 innings, and he is the pitcher of record on the losing side at the moment. Hardy's 0 for 3, trying to extend that hitting streak. Good looking breaking ball there.
Yeah, he's got a little toe tap. I mean, he's going to get back. Last year he was in the Dominican Summer League as a starting pitcher, 9-6. Little toe tap right there. A couple of them misses. Doesn't look like he's a real hard thrower, but again, if you keep and get behind and getting your breaking ball over, you're going to have some success. Not that you want to do that, but it's a good way to pitch.
Hardy pops it up foul. That's going to be back in the crowd. So how about Carreño, called up from Double-A? He was in the Eastern League at New Hampshire as a starter.
And they like it. You know, again, right there we saw, I mean, this is a guy I'm not sure you want to overexpose. So maybe if you look at Don Wakamatsu, the interim manager, is John Farrell recovering from a walking pneumonia. Probably don't want to see him a lot because they'll start sitting on those breaking balls. And if you hang him, which he's done, all of a sudden you're not going to have some success. And there you go.
Base hit down the line for Hardy. That's heading for the corner. Digging it out is Eric Thames, and J.J. Hardy's got a leadoff double and a 13-game hitting streak.
So again, we see a series of breaking balls, and this one stays on the inside middle. You know, and again, I mean, right here, a little toe tap. He's totally off balance, and then right there, and it's just a curveball. And you play percentage baseball, you're off the line, but maybe you got to hug the line if he's going to throw a lot of breaking balls, especially when he doesn't execute it down and away. So the Orioles, again, you want to win tonight. You've only won 4 out of the 12 you've played. Add some runs here, make it easier for the back end of the Oriole bullpen.
Here's Nick Markakis, who is hitless on the night, 0 for 3. Ball 1 outside.
Carreño getting righties out a lot better than lefties. And again, not a lot of it. That's 5 for 13 left-handed. And there's tonight not a lot of opportunities for the Orioles. And then what the Jays did, and this has a lot to do with Jim Johnson and also Jeremy Guthrie, but again, only 2 for 11.
Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball stays inside.
Yeah, I could see how this could play pretty well in Double-A, but here in the big leagues, if you see him too much, you go, wow, he can't command his fastball. Breaking ball, yeah. But again, the arm angle is such that it's not going to have a lot of tilt. So I would imagine you'll see a lot of flat breaking balls. But Nix needs to hit this ball to the right side, and he's done a great job of that all year long. That ball, you're not even going to get those balls, not tonight. So to me, a big chance to have an inning, a big inning here.
There is Cecil on the bench. After 6 innings, 4 runs allowed. And Markakis takes all the way, and it's ball 4. So 2 on with none out. Well, gather up your family, your friends, your co-workers, or your colleagues and enjoy a fun-filled day or night of Orioles baseball before the season comes to a close. With discounted ticket prices for groups as small as 15 fans and party facilities that fit groups up to 1,000 fans, Camden Yards can make your group outing an experience you'll never forget. For details, 888-848-BIRD or go online, Orioles.com/groups. So Carreño this year facing the Bowie Bay Sox, now he's facing the big league Orioles. In the Eastern League, where he was striking them out. 152 Ks in the minor leagues. Here's Adam Jones, 2 on and none out.
I think one of those cases, you know, hitters that Adam will tell you, okay, I go up there. He's had a chance to see him face 3 hitters, a lot of breaking balls. He goes up and looks for a breaking ball, and he'll tell you, when you do that, Jim, what happens is you sometimes chase balls out of the zone. So he had a nice swing, but it was a ball. But again, this youngster is yet to
show us he can command his fastball. There's the good breaking ball. He just keeps throwing it, and you're going to swing off the plate. He doesn't have to throw you a strike, so a little more difficult to get a base hit. At least you'd like to advance runners. Bruce Walton looking on, and you know, his major league debut was against the Royals, and of course they have a lot of young hitters, a lot of fastball hitters. So again, if he's getting it over, I can imagine probably the first time they saw him, he had some success as he did.
0-2 to Jones, double play ball. There's Escobar to Johnson, back to first, and there's a double play. So the double play ball gets Guerrero back into the inning. Runner at third, but 2 men out.
Yep, the perfect breaking ball. And he kind of lucked out that he pitched around Markakis, and because Nick didn't, you would have played your infield in if Nick had hit a ground ball to the right side, but he didn't come close to throwing a strike. Bruce Walton coming out. What do you want to do? Who do you want to pitch to? Of course, you got Wieters on deck already with a home run, but from the other side of the plate.
Now, let me ask you this. Might this also be because here's a kid who's up from Double-A, the Dominican, facing one of the legends from the Dominican Republic? Might it be, hey, why don't we just walk him and go after Wieters? Or the opposite, don't give him too much respect.
Well, don't throw him a strike because you don't need to. I mean, that's the way. But there's so many. I mean, there's so much stuff going on here because, again, you make a great point. This is a guy with Hall of Fame numbers from your country. You obviously know who he is. You don't want to overthrow. Probably just pitching coach saying, hey, relax, make your pitches. Whatever they're going to be. If you don't walk them, take a chance with Wieters. And Matt, a much better hitter this year from the right side. Even though Guerrero's number is not that good against guys that hit left-handed. Better against right-handed batters.
Vladimir's had a good night. He's 2 for 3. Too tight. He singled in the second and scored on the Wieters home run. Then he drove in Jones with an RBI double. And that RBI double at the moment, the difference in the game. Two and 0 the count.
And a good one.
Is that a smirk? How did I miss that?
Yeah, well, I thought it was a pretty good breaking ball because it was down. And, I mean, it wasn't right on the corner like he threw Adam Jones. But, you know, once again, not a bad breaking ball on the hitter's count at 2-0. Now 2-1.
Tell you what, he's not afraid to throw it.
No, very comfortable. I mean, can you imagine how this played down at Double-A? With this kind of breaking ball, throw it in any count, get it over. Other than the one to Hardy that stayed inside. Quality breaking ball.
From 2-0 to 2-2 on Guerrero. Ball 3s he lays off. Guerrero was brought along very, very slowly. He signed for the 2005 season and pitched in the Dominican Summer League. In 2006, same thing, the entire year there. Then he finally got to the Gulf Coast League, which is a short season team. Then the following year, he got to the New York Penn League, which is a short season team. So he has been really nursed along. There's Hardy at third with 2 down. 3-2 on Guerrero. Just gets a piece to stay alive.
I'm going to backtrack a little bit. He's got a pretty good breaking ball. I mean, he hadn't thrown a fastball for a strike yet. But maybe he doesn't need to. Talk about pitching backwards. I think I'd be moving up in the box a little bit.
He had 152 Ks, second in the Eastern League when he was promoted. Another 3-2 to Guerrero. And he fouls it off. Look out in the Oriole dugout. Vladdy hit it right over his son's head. Little. So another 3-2 pitch coming to Guerrero.
Another hit. But then again, of course, if you're Vlad, you just don't know what he's going to throw. But fastball in.
And a weak ground ball to second base. Kelly Johnson will play it to first, and Guerrero does a real good job. It was First and second and none down. The Orioles can't score. Johnson stays on. We head to the 8th. As Vladimir Guerrero thinking about that at-bat. He had a real big at-bat in the 5th when he hit a double. Of course, Matt Wieters, the flow of this game, his 2-run home run in the bottom of the 2nd, got the Orioles right back in it. And Mark Reynolds really playing outstanding at first base. The Orioles may have their first baseman of the future. That experiment may be over the way he's playing.
Outstanding over there, and it's nice to have somebody that can hit 31 home runs for you.
Edwin Encarnacion takes over. Reynolds very comfortable at first base. We talked to him in Minnesota about how easy he's making it look, and he said, you know, it really doesn't matter where I play. He said, I'll even play in the outfield if they want me to go there. I don't know if that's a possibility, but you know, of course, the nuances of first base is what you look for. And the one thing, he sure can play those balls in the dirt.
Yeah, great job, and then very agile. And third base, probably the most hardest defensive position. So.
Slow roller towards third. Encarnacion. Andino throws on the run. The scoop, and he got him.
Oh,
on cue, Mark Reynolds.
Yep. Well, Andino, of course, he gets to this ball so quickly. And again, he had played a lot of third, but watch him charge this. And again, a little back on the heels right here. Again, he didn't barehand it. Again, it's nice to have this type of first baseman. You know, it's not to share. He's in Boston tonight. But right here, great play by Andino and the finishing touch by Reynolds.
What a play to prevent the tying run from getting on, leading off the inning. Kelly Johnson now. Swings for the fastball.
A little double take there. Got up there at 96 with movement.
Check swing and appeal to third. He went too far, says Sam Holbrook.
Yeah, because if he makes contact, it's a double into left field. And that's what Sam's looking at, how far that bat traveled.
0-2 is in the dirt. Well, Kelly Johnson's got to go through what Mark Reynolds went through earlier this year, changing leagues. So they do have the minor exposure in the interleague, but he's a career National Leaguer up until a straight a week ago to Toronto. And down on strikes he goes. So a 4-pitch strikeout and 2 away. Let's get a look at the Orioles' upcoming schedule presented by Xfinity. Night game tomorrow, afternoon game on Thursday. Don't forget, that's the game time change. Then the Orioles head out on the road. It's a 3-game series in Tampa over the weekend. 7 o'clock on Friday. The 6 o'clock start will join you at 7:06, and then Sunday at 1:30. Catch all the action with Xfinity only from Comcast. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Get Xfinity today. Call 1-800-XFIN. First strikeout and 2 down. Johnson saying, okay, I know you're good.
Well, he is good.
I know you're a rookie, but I'm going to challenge you.
Well, yeah, I ran into Jim this morning, and he said, it's not like I don't have an idea out there. I said, I'm well aware of that. Right there, that's a nice little idea, 94, boring in on your fist.
He's going to look at the candidates for the AT&T Player of the Game. And here are the choices: Vladimir Guerrero, Jeremy Guthrie, and Matt Wieters. All big, pivotal players in this game. Text in your vote now. Have your voice heard. A, B, or C to 51862. Foul off his foot. You got Wieters, got him back in the game. You got Guerrero that gave them the lead. You got Guthrie that kept them in the game by not allowing any more runs after the home run.
Yeah, he's just going to go over there and crouch. Does it hurt? Right off the foot. John Farrell, before he came up, again, he broke his hand talking to Brett LAWRIE. He goes, this kid's got a presence. He said it just looks like there's a certain presence to him when he walks into the box. And right here, just walking off a ball off your foot. And again, I actually ran into Jeff Bagwell out in Orange County. He reminds me a little of him. He's a similar build. I think Bagwell had, what, about 449 home runs, some huge amount.
And both were traded as AA players.
Yes.
Yep. Bagwell by the Red Sox to the Astros, and
For
Larry Anderson.
Yeah.
Who was with Boston to the end of that season, and that was it. Broken bat, Blue to second. Adams is there, and he's got it. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Jim Johnson. We're in the middle of the 8th at Camden Yards. Orioles holding on to a 4-3 lead. Blue Cross Blue Shield will contribute $50 to support the Living Classrooms Foundation. To date, the Orioles have drawn 356 walks for a total of $17,800. CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Bottom of the 8th,
yep.
And the Orioles looking for insurance.
Yeah, the veteran coming on. He will turn 36 in November. You can see the numbers. Does lead the ball club in 54 appearances. Been a little bit of a struggle. You know, he's a guy that sinks the ball, big curveball, changeup. But over the last 9, almost 10 innings, 9 2/3 innings, 17 hits. And he did lose to Tampa Bay just the other night. So maybe the Orioles can add a few runs here. Possibility.
Wieters with a base hit in the right field. So he jumps on the first pitch, and that's got a 2-hit night. Orioles looking for insurance, get their man on. Well, there's still time for you to entertain clients, colleagues, and more with a custom suite package at Oriole Park. Private suites are available, a variety of locations and packages, and offer your company a sophisticated, affordable way to make a statement. To find out more, visit Orioles.com/suites and arrange for a private tour. You can also call 410-547-6076.
When you look at Sean Camp's numbers, lefties well over 300, 342. That number just went up. Righties at 310. a strike throw. And he has to stay down, and he has to have movement, and he has to stay out of the middle of the plate. And the first pitch to Matt Wieters didn't move. It was down the middle. And smoked promptly in the right field.
Slapped in the right field.
Yeah.
Outside, ball 2. So Wieters now has 31 multi-hit games with his 2 out of 4 tonight.
Well, Kevin Gregg, the Oriole closer, getting up and getting the man of many positions tonight, is now throwing. We saw him sitting in the dugout, in the bullpen, and now throwing in the bullpen.
You know, that was actually nice to see that Gregg was out there with those young starters early in the game before he went to the bullpen, because I'm told he's very, very good in the clubhouse when the media's not around with the young pitchers, and is not afraid to tell them what they need to hear versus what they want to hear. And it's good to see just calmly talking, probably game situations on the bench. Cal used to be like that, talking game situations, especially with young players. All right, it's 3-2. What do you think he's going to throw you? Things like that. Just try to get you thinking.
Yeah, and I think that's why Buck would like talking about Buck Showalter, the Orioles skipper, a veteran pitcher that certainly wants to do that. Jeremy Guthrie does that to a degree. So camp, it's been a struggle. And again now, 18 hits in 9 2/3 innings, and now a walk. But the Orioles got to do a little bit better. And here's one of those situations, Jim, that you talked about. When Robert Andino came up early this year, or was on the club early, he had trouble bunting. Failed to bunt. And he's been working on it. Let's see what happens, because this is a bunt situation here.
And tonight's Unilever game flow is about the Orioles making a comeback here, down by 3 in the second. They have scored 4 and now have a chance for some insurance, and we'll see what Robert Andino is able to do. If he can lay down the bunt, he does have 7 sacrificed bunts on the year.
And Lawrie's not playing for a bunt at third. I mean, he's just even with the bag. Here he comes in.
And to the pitcher. And the force at third base.
Horrible. Not good at all. You know, they put the wheel play on where the third baseman stays back. Your position right here. Lawrie's going to go in. Now he goes back right here. But it's, again, you make him field it, but it has to be down the line. And just not good situation of bunting. And he knows it. That'll get a little, I don't know what we call that.
Well, I was just going to say, he knows it.
No, yeah. Well, they all know it. Everybody knows it. It's not like it's a big mystery. Not a good bunt. You needed to make one, couldn't do it. So we've already seen Guthrie pick up Wieters when he dropped the pop-up. REIMOLD may have to get a base hit here to help the Orioles have a little bit more of a cushion. It's all part of the process of, again, you like to think that every time you have a youngster bunt, they'll be able to do it. Just doesn't happen. Doesn't mean you don't keep working at it. I'm sure he will. Probably starting tomorrow. And it's, again, even if you do in practice, it's just a little bit different.
Right.
Yeah.
And it looked like what he was trying to do there was guide it towards the third baseman, but he never got the barrel head out and went back more towards the mound. So bunted it sharply.
Well, it was a perfect bunt if you want to get a force at third. Is really what it turned out to be. Because, again, you do those drills as a pitcher where you have a drill where a lot of times the third baseman will charge. He'll try to maybe keep the double play in order. Brooks Robinson, of course, 16 gold gloves. Great. Get the force play at second. They get first and third, but you still have a double play opportunity. See, and here again we have another guy that, you know, REIMOLD, he wants to get a base hit, but take the walk. If they want to give you the walk, you know, it'll get Adams, who can hit a little bit. Good numbers, runners in scoring position. I wouldn't be surprised right here if he's not hitting them.
3-0 is a called strike. Just did hit the corner.
Again, you have the luxury of not having to swing at this pitch unless it's your pitch. Sean Camp's in trouble. He's the one that's in the jam.
Reynolds at second, Andino at first, and Andino, as you see, not being held, so he's getting a good lead. 3-1 on REIMOLD.
Good pitch.
And outside, ball 4.
Yeah, I think he wanted that pitch. He's still looking in there.
So 2 walks in the inning, bases loaded with 1 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles.
Take a look at this 3-1 pitch, and again, I'm surprised the scoreboard. I mean, it's right on the corner. Again, Paul Schreiber's been consistently consistent tonight. He's been a hitter's umpire. You would think the scoreboard would maybe have more than 7 runs, but that could change right here.
So Ryan Adams in a big spot. Jays will look for a ground ball to turn a double play and end the inning.
And he's looking for some ball to get in the air.
That one floated in there.
Yeah, backup breaking ball, and you don't quite get on top of it. Instead of having the spin on top, so that it'll actually break down, it's that wrist position, and it just spins.
Adams has 1 hit tonight. He's 1 out of 3. 2 out of the fastball, ball 2. Left-hander Brian Talent now getting loose. This is the 3rd chance for Ryan Adams with the bases loaded. He is 1 for 2 in the other 2 chances. Reynolds and Dino REIMOLD, you saw 3rd to 1st. And a ground ball foul.
Yeah, you look like somebody, you look at a guy like Sean Camp. He's been around. We first saw him with Kansas City, then he was down at Tampa Bay. In the last 3 years, 40, 59, and 70 games. So again, he knows what he has to do. He probably doesn't throw as hard as he did 3 years ago. He's got to get a sinker. And again, right here, he's still behind Adams. And Adams, Ryan trying to get a ball up in the zone. We know he can hit the ball. Good high ball hitter.
2-1 is popped up. Infield fly rule will be called, and the second baseman Kelly Johnson puts it away for the out. So for a 2nd consecutive inning, the Orioles are having difficulty getting an insurance run. In the 7th, it was 1st and 2nd, none down, double play ground ball, then a ground out.
Well, Camp makes 2 really good pitches. The sinker to get him back in the count of 2-1, and then he's able to jam Ryan Adams. So again, we've seen it so many times. Guthrie picks up leaders after the error, gets out of a bases loaded no out situation. And we've seen J.J. Hardy all year long drive in key runs. Did it the other night against the Yankees.
So the bases loaded with 2 out. Ball 1 outside. Kind of looks like that frisbee curveball that sits sideways.
J.P. Arenciba, the catcher, the ball's going all over the place. He's looking to see what's going on. If he's looking, if he's cheating, some hitters will actually look at where the position is.
Well, his catcher's easy to see. Looks like the Tin Man. Now ball at 3rd, and LAWRIE rushes to the base. He'll touch up, and that ends it. So the Orioles miss a chance to get an insurance run, stranding the bases loaded. 9th inning coming up. The Orioles up by a run. Orioles baseball on MASN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout days. Oriole Park at Camden Yards. We head to the 9th, and the Birds are clinging to a 4-3 lead, and here's the closer.
Well, he got his last save in the Zach Britton game, the 2-0 game in the first game of the doubleheader on Sunday. So there you are. They know, 37 saves for the Blue Jays. Usually keeps the ball in the ballpark.
And there's a liner to Matt Engel in left field, who's now in, and he plays it on a hop. So one pitch, and the tying run is on in the 9th inning. Here's an update on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game, and Jeremy Guthrie leading the vote. Wieters and Guerrero following. Still time to vote, A, B, or C, 51862. And Amber and Rick will have the results coming up on O's Extra postgame.
Yeah, Dwayne Wise coming in. He was acquired from the Marlins. So there you go. A little cutter in the middle of the plate. Didn't make a good pitch and didn't take Aaron Seavey along. Of course, they all know Kevin Gregg. They know that he can be wild. He can make great pitches. He doesn't give in. And while he can be very good, he can be sometimes not too good.
Mike McCoy shows bunt. Wieters came up as if he was going to throw behind the runner. Well, the Orioles in the 7th inning had first and second, nobody out, couldn't get a run in. In the 8th inning, they had first and second, nobody out, couldn't get a bunt down, then bases loaded, one out, and couldn't get a run in.
Well, that's all good and well, but at the end of the day, if they had more runs and you'd gotten some runs off Jimmy Johnson, it still would be a one-run save. So if you're Kevin Gregg, yeah, you'd like to have a little room, but we've seen him have trouble holding 8-1 lead. So end of the day, throw strikes, make good pitches, and hope you have some run. And right here, if they're going to give you an out, which maybe is the case, take it. It's one less chance of them getting 2 runs. I mean, to me, yeah, you want to save the game, and you can take the giant eraser and erase the effort of Guthrie and all the clutch hits, but don't give up the go-ahead run. And again, they're giving you an out, and he's not going to take it. It's so frustrating for everybody involved.
Gregg has had 3 consecutive scoreless outings since he blew the save in Anaheim on August the 20th.
And that was a 2-run save. Again, the strike zone is so tiny. Now all of a sudden, maybe you don't get in a situation where they give you an out, even though we're going to see a little conversation here. Brian Butterfield coming down and talking to YUNEL ESCOBAR.
So Escobar in what appears to be a sacrifice situation. He has 5 of them on the year. Wise the pinch runner at second, McCoy at first.
Yeah, Thames, of course, if you bunt him, Thames is only hitting 188 with runners in scoring position, but tonight, a pretty good night. Doubles the last time up. And then right behind him is BAUTISTA. Tied for the home run league in the American League.
Ball 1. It's 5 in a row out of the strike zone to 2 hitters who are looking to bunt. Escobar is 1 out of 4 with an infield hit. And a high strike. Wow, borderline pitch.
It's just a slider in a bunting situation, but maybe just in case he wasn't bunting. But Wieters comes up, and Paul Shriver, who doesn't look like he's that tall a guy, you still get the call. Doesn't happen too often.
One and one on Escobar.
And we'll see how agile Kevin Gregg is in case they make a bad bunt here. And they're not even close. They are giving.
Nolan covering third and alertly moving up is Wise. And nobody at second.
Wow. Well, see, that's the unfamiliar. I mean, it tells it all right there. Willie Randolph going. You have a guy that doesn't play a lot third. He comes in right here. I mean, we talk about heads up base running right here. And Hardy can't beat the runner. Right here, he knows. Maybe Butterfield's yelling. And he's clapping his hand. And not only do they get that, they get the the potential winning run. So now all of a sudden Escobar is not going to be bunting.
And it's in the dirt for ball 3, so that'll be a double steal.
A double gift is really what it is.
Weeder's out to talk with Greg, and you see Buck Showalter on the phone to the bullpen. And he's going to get somebody up behind Kevin Gregg.
Probably Mike Gonzalez, I would think. Nope.
Troy Patton.
No, Troy Patton just came back. Yeah, Gonzalez pitching last night.
And a line drive to right field. Markakis in on a diving catch. He's got it for the out. Here comes the tying run throw to third, and safe at third base is McCoy. What a play by Markakis to take a base hit away. We are tied and 1 down.
Well, yeah, again, right there. I mean, I don't know if he called him out or not, but they're telling Escobar, did he catch it? Yes, he did. But a great play by Nick, because he's thinking, okay, there's your tying run, but maybe I can get the potential go-ahead run. And right here, I'm going to go again. I'm not sure they're going to make a pitching change. I'm just going to see how he wants to play it. Nobody in the bullpen ready yet.
Well, with 1 down, maybe Buck is suspicious of a possible squeeze, even though you have Bautista on deck. Thames will be the batter.
Got a young hitter out of Double-A ball. I'm not sure you're going to squeeze with him, not with Bautista coming up, because if you fail, then he doesn't get the bat and the chance to. I just think, again, a young hitter, you know what he is. He's a good fastball hitter. He's already got a couple of doubles. And you don't have to tell Kevin Gregg. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if Wise tagged up, and it looks like he did. And that's, again, you have to go back onto the pitching rubber. You have to actually get the ball in play, and then you have to step off and throw over the third base or whatever base you think he may have left early. Maybe he didn't do that. So come to the stretch, back off. Right there. Now throw it. And then Joe West. So we're going to go right around the horn. Just in case. It's all right.
Yeah, Buck's just saying, okay, they saw it.
And I don't think you have to tell Kevin Gregg you're not going to give in to Thames, because he doesn't give in.
All 1 inside. Thames 188 with runners in scoring position. He has doubled in each of his last 2 at-bats.
He'll chase because he's a young hitter. So this is one of those guys you really don't have to throw strikes to.
Ball and a strike on him. Inside, ball 2. A leadoff single, then a walk. 4-pitch walk to McCoy. The double steals and a sac fly. Now off 2-2. But Jim, you made a real good point on McCoy. That's really the key batter in this inning, because he was willing to give you an out. And now he's the go-ahead run at third base with 1 down. 2-2 on Thames. And a bloop to left field. Angle was deep. Coming. He gets there. McCoy bluffs coming to the plate and draws a throw. Angle perfect to the plate.
Wow. Not very deep, but perfect throw. And again, you are not. If you're Brian Butterfield, got to get him thrown out on a soft with Bautista coming up. I mean, right here, nice pitch by Kevin Gregg. Again, out of the zone. Young hitter. And then right here. That's what you would have. That would have allowed the Orioles to come up to try to win it. So now you have to face Bautista, and they're going to walk him. And of course, Adam Lynn on deck. That's not exactly a bonus.
Well, Bautista will be given the pass for Adam Lind, and this will be his 20th intentional walk, which is most in the league. So 4-4 game, the blown save charged to Kevin Gregg. And now trying to prevent the Jays from getting the lead. John Russell flashing some signs out to Matt Weeder, so we'll now relay them to the infielders. What do you do if Bautista takes off?
Let him go.
Maybe that was the sign. Weeder stepped out in front.
And if he steals, and I don't think he will, then all of a sudden you still pitch around. You're at a juncture of the game where you still pitch around Lynn. I mean, you make your pitch, or you walk him and pitch to Encarnacion. You just can't afford to give in to a guy like Adam Lind.
Lind has one hit on the night. Single to right field. 1-0 is inside, I guess. Ball 2. Ball 3.
It's probably a strike, but again, it wasn't called. So you can't assume he's not going to be swinging here. So you have to, again, pitch out of the middle of the plate, maybe a breaking ball. So that's pretty much a pitch around once you get behind him.
That is the third walk in the inning. And it loads the bases with 2 down.
So Encarnacion comes on, he leads the team in doubles. Early on, he got a walk. And of course, when the Jays had Guthrie a little bit on the ropes after the drop pop fly with the bases loaded, he swung at a great pitch that Jerry made and hit a ground ball right back to him. So we'll see if he's a little more disciplined here.
There goes the bat. Look out. Fortunately, it stayed on the field. Strike 1 on Encarnacion. All the way down past Brian Butterfield, all the way down the line.
And it all started with a cut fastball for strike 1 right down the middle to Aaron Sebia. Keep reminded Dave about what Dave Duncan said about the cutter. He said, I said, you teach it. Dave, the pitching coach with St. Louis, he said, I said, what's the key to it? He said, not to throw it for a strike. Aaron Sebia got it. That started all this, and then they're giving them an out and walking. It's almost like sometimes Kevin Gregg doesn't pitch like he has good stuff. He has to nibble, and then he gets back in the count. They get to see multiple pitches. They get to see the speed, the movement. And again, it becomes a little bit easier to hit.
Here's the 0-2. Ground ball to short. Hardy is there. He will flip to Adams, and Gregg gets out of it. Jays do get a run, but they do not take the lead, leaving the bases loaded. Bottom of the ninth coming up in a 4-4 game.
Blue Jays have tied the game as we head to the bottom of the ninth after a defensive mishap by the Orioles in the top of the ninth.
I know it was a shame, though. They didn't have that wheel play on. Nobody covered third base. 2 Toronto players moved up, got into position. They tied the ball game, but the Orioles did pull themselves out of a hole. Down 3-0. They took a 4-3 lead. Now it's all tied up. Bottom of the ninth, they have a chance to win.
All right, 3 outs to work with. Let's head back to the booth with Jim and Jim.
All right, Amber and Rick, thanks very much. And as Rick points out, you get a run, the game's over. So batting at home in the bottom of the ninth. And here is Casey Jansen, Jim, who will come on. He takes over for the Jays in the ninth.
Well, again, he's having a terrific year. Arm problems a number of years ago. We saw him when they were last here. Very athletic windup. Lefties are only hitting 200, 202 for the year. Last 15 2/3 innings without allowing a run, and that's a longer scheme of not giving up a run of any pitcher in the bullpen. So again, very athletic. Probably throws 90 to 92, 3 miles per hour. Good breaking ball, and again, a lot of movement.
Jose Molina is now in the game behind the plate as they pinch ran for Arancibia. Blue Jays at the moment are carrying 3 catchers. There's Markakis. Ball 1 outside.
One of those drop and drive type of windups where he really uses his back leg. We see him drop right at the pitcher's mound and then kind of propel himself to home plate. He's going to find it is a very, 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 let me give you a couple of more very tiny strike zone.
2-0. Ball 3.
Yep. Not hard to watch somebody tonight, I'm telling you that. I look at Paul Schreiber, I go, this kid, he must have been a hitter in Little League. Didn't do well.
It's one thing to have a tight strike zone, but there have been a lot of pitchers that looked like they were obvious strikes they didn't even call.
Just inconsistent there. There you go.
4-pitch walk, winning run is on. Well, Adam Jones has a flair for the dramatic. Let's go back against Kansas City. May the 24th, Adam Jones came up against Joaquin Soria, blew the bubble, and he hit it out onto the sod farm. There's your walk-off as Adam Jones went deep. So an opportunity here in the bottom of the ninth. He walked and scored in the 5th. He has grounded out 3 times.
That average almost, we got it as high as 298, closing in on 300. There's a high strike.
Yeah, he got right to 299 on the road trip.
Well, yesterday he said down at the cage, he said, boy, I want to get to 100 RBIs. And I said, well, yeah, but you have to do the same things that got you the 79 RBIs. Because if you try to do things, Kenny Singleton talking about that. A terrific hitter in his own right now, broadcasting for the Yankees. There's such a difference between being intense and intense. Don't want to overdo it. Just do the same things you've done the first 5 months, and certainly could fall into place.
Check swing, and he went too far.
A lot of times what makes it even tougher in these kind of situations, Jim, kind of out the window now that Jansen's able to get to 2 strikes with no balls, is even if you hit a ball to the right side, it's Charlie Lau, the great hitting instructor, former Oriole catcher, used to say the area of maximum vulnerability. It gives you a chance to get the runner over, you get a base hit, and again, when you try to think home run, double, Jansen doesn't want that to happen. So sometimes just hitting the ball really to the right side of the field creates all kinds of trouble.
Ground ball to third. LAWRIE bobbled it to second one. Back to first. There's a double play. The second double play Jones has hit into in the game. And that erases the leadoff walk.
So you get ahead, you just make a good pitch with your breaking ball. It's down, so you can see pretty tailor-made, except he bobbles it, quick hands. And then Kelly Johnson, nice little turn there. Right here, just make sure you catch it. And again, the ball comes up a little bit. Tells you a little bit about this kid's reflexes. And then Johnson, great turn.
There's Vladimir Guerrero, and he takes a strike at the knees, and he's questioning the call because that has not been a strike for a good part of the night.
Never.
Vladimir is 2 out of 4. And that's high and away. Guerrero has an RBI double. He's also singled and scored. There's Willie Ayer in the Oriole bullpen. Ball 2. Jansen is the 4th pitcher used by Toronto. The Orioles have used 3. 2 outs and the bases empty in the bottom of the 9th. Ball 3.
Yeah, Jansen, we told you had shoulder problems, missed all of 2008. And talk about Tommy John. I guess the chances of coming back are what about in the 90th percentile, but labrum's a little bit different. So anytime you have the kind of labrum tear and come back and throw like this, and there's a slider, again, a lot of movement, not giving in. Again, part of pitching that way is to know who's at the plate. And we all know Vlad chases just about anything. And again, this slider certainly not hittable. It bounced.
3-2 with 2 men down. Jansen deals the payoff. And a bouncer wide of the bag at first. Lind to Jansen. That ends the inning. So we are going extras. Leadoff walk, double play, and a ground out. Through 9 at Camden Yards. Orioles and Jays tied at 4. With the MLB.com At-Bat 2011 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. You get scores, stats, highlights, live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, interactive maps of Oriole Park, and more. And you can even check in at Oriole home games for the chance to win prizes, including upgraded seats. So just text At-Bat to 31826 or visit Orioles.com for all the details. Well, the air comes on to work here in the 10th, so the Orioles now need to keep the Jays from scoring to try to win in a walk-off. The Blue Jays have been outstanding in extra inning games on the year. They are 10-3 in extra inning games. The Orioles are 5-7.
It's not good.
So Willie Air takes over.
Well, Willie can change that. He's got good stuff. He's going to find out that any strike you throw tonight is probably going to be called a ball. It's not a game that Paul Schreiber's had. No, he's getting progressively worse as this game goes on.
And a foul ball slicing, 1-1 the count. So here we go. The Blue Jays 10-3 and the Orioles 5-7 with extra frames. Air last pitched on Friday. He got in the first game of the Yankee series a lot of run in 1 inning. Left field and deep. Matt Angle, a long run into the corner, and it's over his head and against the wall. Johnson heading to second. Now he'll head to third. Angle's throw is not in time, and it's a leadoff triple on a ball Angle could not play off the wall.
Yeah, and you know, again, obviously the intent, you want to catch it, but you don't play a lot of left here. Camden Yards, the hardest field to play is left field. Right here, right there, you should have backed off. You're not going to get there. If it goes by you, and Adam Jones, couple double plays, is not backing up here, I don't know if it would have made a difference anyway. But you don't want the leadoff triple, and that's exactly what they get. Now you got to play your infield in.
So the go-ahead run at third, nobody down. Brett LAWRIE. breaking balls down and away.
Yeah, I mean, he takes that breaking ball like he's been in the big leagues 5 years. Doesn't mean you can't get him out, but Jim Johnson got him out because he threw him a sinker at 94 down and in. He just looks like he's going to be the real deal. He's obviously going to go through some adjustments periods.
He's 21 years old, LAWRIE.
But going back to that triple, the doubles are doubles sometimes. You just have to turn around, play him off the wall, and again, you like to think Matt Angle, as he gets more experience, will learn that.
There's a pop-up. Sawed him off. Ryan Adams calls. He has it for the out, 1 down. Well, that's a huge out.
Well, they go to, I guess, where they think that they can get him out, and he makes a great pitch, just where Jim Johnson went to. And the result was similar type of pop-ups.
1 down with a runner at third. There's Troy Patton now getting loose. And Jose Molina will bat for the first time. He took over for Aaron Sebia, who singled leading off the 9th and then was lifted for a pinch runner. Ball 1. Molina's 2 out of his last 10. And swings through that 1-1 the count.
Yeah, we saw him 3 weeks ago when he came in, and he's gone to the open stance. Open stance, your front foot farther away from home plate.
He is 36 years old now, so he is the elder statesman of this team.
And a lot of times, I mean, if you look at it, you get to see the ball with 2 eyes, and then you have to close. A lot of hitters, they stay square, and then they have trouble keeping that front shoulder in. So this is a different approach. He looks really relaxed.
The go-ahead run is at third with 1 down. There he is, Kelly Johnson. Butterfield is third base coach. Right behind him, nearly hit him inside, ball 3. There are 2 players left on the bench for Toronto, Mark Teahan and the rookie catcher Brian Girolamo. 3-1 is outside, gets away from Wieters. Here comes Johnson, and the Jays get the lead.
Yeah, they're going to call that a wild pitch. I already heard that on the PA from the score, but that's a ball that Matt Wieters usually blocks. Again, it's not that it's not away, but again, that he just didn't react as well. Maybe he was looking in. You can see it's a ball that pretty much almost in the air. So there you go. You play a double into a triple, and then a wild pitch, pass ball, whatever you want to call it, really doesn't matter. He doesn't block it. Air a little bit out of the catching abilities of Matt Wieters tonight, and all of a sudden they have the go-ahead run.
Here is Mike McCoy, the number 9 batter. And Willie Air chasing Jose Molina.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
It was not a stolen base throw. Now that his brother Benji's not playing, he may be the slowest runner in all of baseball.
Certainly in the top 5 candidates.
McCoy took a strike. Now that doesn't mean now that they have the lead that they wouldn't try a hit and run maybe. Your look tells me I'm overanalyzing.
You're getting delusional. Yeah, I think maybe if you got, well, no, I just don't see that happening.
There's a bounce to the short. Slowly hit. Hardy to second. Watt Adams back to first. Not in time to turn 2. So the force out at second and 2 down.
And again, J.J. Hardy knows that Mike McCoy, pretty good speed, so you're going to get the lead runner. Again, nice turn by Ryan Adams, but no chance.
Here's YUNEL ESCOBAR, the leadoff man. Schreiber went out towards the mound and told Willie Air to move the rosin back. Runner takes off. Wieters throw to second base. The tag. He is out at second base. Joe West lets us know. But the Blue Jays get a run. They get the lead. Bottom of the 10th coming up. Wieters, Reynolds, and Andino with the Birds down by a run. Second time as a Blue Jay. He was in that big trade with the Cardinals and reacquired from St. Louis. That was the 8-player trade.
Yeah, big tall lefty last year with the Blue Jays. Not one of his better years, 34 games. He actually started 5 games. Didn't have a lot of success, so he comes in trying to protect a 1-run lead. And by bringing in the lefty, you turn Wieters around to his best hitting side. He already has a 2-run home run, so we'll see what the Orioles can do at the bottom of the 10th.
5-4 game now. A run in the 9th, a run in the 10th for Toronto. Matt's had a good night at the plate. 2-run home run in the second. Jose Molina out to go over the signs with Brian Talent and possibly the strategy against Wieters. Matt is also singled.
You could give him the Earl Weaver way of pitching people. High and tight, low and away. Don't give him a good pitch to hit, but get him out. When you hear that, you have all kinds of conflicting thoughts.
And it's outside, ball 1.
Well, he starts him off with a changeup. And again, he's going to find that it can be a tiny strike zone, so maybe Matt can get into a hitter's count. Because he's really been doing a good job of looking for pitches out over the plate. And right there comes back over our head. And 80-83. Pretty hittable pitch there, and he had a good swing at it.
One on Wieters. Reynolds on deck, then Andino is due. Side. One thing you have to be in this situation because of the way the strike zone has gone tonight, you have to be patient.
And even if you're not, Paul Schreiber does the job for you.
2-1 on Wieters. Down and in, ball 3 nearly hit him.
Yeah, you could have the most aggressive hitter in the world tonight, and with this strike zone, he's going to probably be in a hitter's count.
Skipper looking on from the bench.
There's Don Wakamatsu. Again, taking over for John Farrell, who's there.
And it's low ball 4. So the Blue Jays cooperate. They walk the tying run in the bottom of the 10th and bring the winning run to the plate. And a home run threat in that. Mark Reynolds.
And that's the way the ninth inning started. A walk to Nick Markakis, double play to Adam Jones. Casey Jansen on a roll, hadn't given up runs in his last 15 2/3 innings. Brian Talbot off the disabled list after coming over from the Cardinals, so not on one of those rolls. See if the Orioles can do some damage here. Like you said, one swing can end this game.
Down and in. Zimmerlin is going to go out and talk to him. Talbot's been around since 2000 as a professional. He made his big league debut with the Indians in 2002.
And this would probably be a situation where you would have seen Matt Andrew pitch run through readers if he hadn't come in for defense for REIMOLD.
Ball 2. Yeah, the Orioles still going with a 3-man bench. They have 6 starters and 7 relievers. So the only 2 on the bench are Jake Fox and Craig Tatum.
That'll probably end in a couple of days when they expand the roster.
Absolutely. All kinds of discussions going on. 2-0 is a called strike on the inside corner.
I remember last year the Orioles played Toronto, and they had a 13-man bullpen with 6 lefties in it. Look at that one. Who do you choose?
You try to remember who pitched yesterday.
You put your left hand up, 6 guys jump up.
Exactly. Is there enough room out there? 2-1 on Reynolds. Ball 3. You know what it also does is you run out of room where you put your relievers on your scorecard.
That's what I rely on you for.
Wakamatsu can't believe it.
Well, no, he's seen this before. I mean, it just happens.
There's the scorecard. A lot of cross-offs. You lead off this inning. 3-1 on Reynolds. And it's low ball 4. He has walked the tying run. He has walked the winning run to begin the 10th inning. So here's Andino, who could not lay down a sacrifice bunt in the 8th inning when the Orioles were looking for an insurance run. Let's see what the Orioles employ here. The Blue Jays are expecting a sacrifice.
Didn't we do this earlier?
Yes, we did. And it's high, ball 1. And the Jays have the exact same play on. They have LAWRIE not even charging. He is staying put at 3rd, and Adam Lind is charging all the way in from 1st.
Well, again, a lot of times, when I first came up, Hank Bauer in the situation, especially when you have a guy hitting over 320 against lefties, you would let him swing away here. Everybody moving around. Got a bunting man. He takes the strike because, you know, if you're Robert, obviously you'll want to do the right thing. And you can't feel comfortable because they messed up a bunt earlier, and it's not what he does best. And a young player that, as you mentioned, probably didn't do a lot of bunting last year. But up here, when you're hitting down the lineup, this is what you have to do. And it's not that he hasn't worked on it. It's just different. It's different when the game starts. I don't think he doesn't know that they're bearing down on him first and possibly 3rd.
1-1, drag the bunt towards 3rd. It's perfect. They let it roll, and it goes foul. Well, LAWRIE, a heads-up play. In that spot, of course, with the 3rd baseman not charging, you want him to field it. They had the backspin on it and rolled foul.
Well, you could see again the bat angle. I mean, there's a little bit of a jab. So when I came up, of course, pitchers hit, and if you wanted to help yourself, you had to learn the bunt. How to get the bat out there. The angle has to be where the bat head is higher than the handle. We could see the bat head actually come down. When you do that, the ball has a tendency to hook or pop up or whatever. So wouldn't be surprised right here. And again, they're still looking somewhat for the bunt. Lynn way in. Now LAWRIE's even with the bag at 3rd base.
1-2. He does square, and he gets it down out in front of the plate. Molina, foul ball.
And you're out.
So the runners will have to go back.
Small ball. It's killing him.
So that'll be a strikeout. Molina got to it so quickly.
Now watch the bat head. See right there how he dropped the bat head. The handle has to go down below, and you can see Molina, just in case they call it fair, which it wasn't, he's going to get the force. So again, just bad fundamentals. Just very easy to pop that ball up again when you drop the bat head underneath the handle. That's why Charlie Lau, again, when he was catching here, he said everybody says it's a high fastball. It's really the breaking ball, because just think, when you have to go follow a breaking ball, what do? That head gets down.
Here's Jake Fox pinch hitting for Matt Engel. And it's high, 1-0.
A couple of hits in Minnesota. And on Thursday, I guess. Yeah, there you go. This is why, again, if you look, a lot of base runners tonight, but only 9 runs. That's because neither team hit well with runners in scoring position.
Fouled off. Ball and a strike on Fox.
Yeah, a lot of changeups, little cutters, a lot of movement. It looks like that's pretty much how he wants to get hitters out. Maybe waste the fastball and get you to roll over on something. And they're looking for a double play ball.
The Orioles would love for Fox to run into one. Inside, ball 2.
And that's again, just run him off the plate with a fastball and go soft away.
Showalter and John Russell. Wakamatsu on the left, and acting manager. He's the bench coach for the Jays. Loop to right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Weeder's got a late jump. He's being sent anyway. The throw goes to second base, and the Orioles get a break. The game is tied. The winning run at third. Jose Bautista did not pick up the Weeder's held, and he threw behind it. A huge break for the Orioles.
And a huge hit for Jake Fox. Well, you're sure right about that. Again, not a lot of speed right here. He has no idea that Weeders is just getting into third base. And again, already, 11 assists. Right here, they don't get the runner at third base. So the Orioles, they get the tying run. They get the runner to third with only 1 out. And here comes Ryan Adams.
So the rookie has a chance to win the game.
And what he has to do is make sure he gets the strike result. The pressure is on Tower.
And swings through it on 1.
Yeah, there's that good changeup. And again, he has a base opening for Brian Talbot, and I think part of the process here for him is that he's going to say, okay, I'm going to make my pitch. It's going to be something probably soft. That's the scouting report on Ryan Adams. And Ryan should be thinking, okay, until I get the 2 strikes, maybe I'll look soft. Get a ball in the air.
And it's low.
And the outfield comes in where they can catch a line drive and still throw the runner out. Reynolds, for a home run guy, runs well.
What a great job by Willie Randolph to send Weeders, even though he held to force the issue.
I think Willie was trying to make up for all the things that went wrong tonight. And again, he was very fortunate. I'm not saying he would have thrown him out because Bautista can throw, but it would have been bang-bang at home plate if he had recognized.
1-1 is down and in, ball 2. So here's what you were just saying, the patient approach.
Well, it's patient, and again, you have a veteran pitcher who is not going to try to give you anything you can get in the air. And when you go down, and we do it all the time, we're watching hitting, they go, okay, Jim Presley would say, man at third, less than 2 outs, get a ball in the air. Now, of course, the batting practice pitcher is not trying to keep you from doing it. And there's a changeup down and away. We're not going to get into it because worse comes worse. Not that it's anything easy. You will pitch with the bases loaded to J.J. Hardy. And then if you got a force play, and you got a lot of things going on. And they don't have a right-hander up in their bullpen.
Three and 1 on Ryan Adams. First and third, 1 down. High fly ball right field. This should be deep enough. Reynolds tags. Going back, Bautista. It's a base hit. Ryan Adams wins the game as Mark Reynolds comes in. As the Orioles come all the way back And back-to-back RBI hits. Fox to tie it, and Ryan Adams, who's getting pulverized out there by his teammates. What a moment for the rookie. So Ryan Adams down to the crowd. They're beating him up for winning the game. And what looked like might be a disappointing loss instead is an uplifting victory. So a 6-5 game as the Orioles come back with 2 in the bottom of the 10th. We invite you to join us tomorrow. Moro's action, game 2 of the 3-game series against the Jays. JoJo Reyes will be on the mound against Henderson Alvarez. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Masson 2 HD with O's Extra, presented by Verizon Wireless, then game coverage at 7 o'clock. For Jim Palmer, our entire hardworking crew, Jim Hunter saying so long from Camden Yards, where the Orioles walk it off 6-5 and 10. Tonight's telecast, a massive presentation. A lot to talk about in this one. Amber Mick, O's Extra, is coming up next.